it's a very different looking Brisbane lineup these days. There are some familiar faces, but there's no Voss, Lappin, Ackermanis, Brown, Leppich, to name a few. Instead, they've been replaced by a bunch of rookies. In fact, tonight the Lions introduced their 9th new player in 2006 as Lee Matthews rebuilds his Northern Empire. Hello and welcome to Telstra Dome, round 19, Saturday night football, Richmond versus the Brisbane Lions. It really is an amazing change of the guard up north, Rob.
Well, it is, Stephen, and it's happened pretty quickly. 2 years ago, this Brisbane team played in a grand final. They've only got 8 players tonight who've played in a premiership. 14 of them have played less than 50 games, and Richmond's pretty much the same. So we've got a very, very young group of players out on the field tonight. I think that's fantastic.
It is. As the Lions come out, this is the first time since Lee Matthews has been coached that either Voss or Ackermanis have not been in the team.
Well, isn't that amazing? Lee Matthews, of course, been there for a long while. Both of them champions of the game. It's the first game that Michael Voss has missed this year. I'm sure he'll play next week. Let's hope he can give his Melbourne fans a send-off later on.
Started to feel old when you look at some of these young boys run out, don't you?
Oh, when the Brisbane players ran out, we had to look twice, didn't we? Because not only do you not recognise the faces, the bodies are so small.
And Richmond, I guess, are not that much different to the Lions because they've now used 39 players this season, which is the most in the AFL.
Yes, Terry Wallace has been able to give just about everyone a senior game. They've had a lot of injuries, this Richmond side. They've been knocked around badly, and they'll be keen to get a couple of wins on the board before the season's over. It's a 5-year plan. They're only into the 2nd year of it. Some of the youngsters are playing some really good football. Andrew Rains, he might be the NAB Rising star this year.
Yes, amazing story. Andrew Rains reportedly this in the next couple of weeks might sign a 3-year contract, such as the regard he's now held at the Richmond Football Club in a short space of time. Time to have a look at the teams tonight as we welcome Tim Lane and a special guest.
Indeed, Quarters, good evening to you. Great to have Neil Danaher with us after a tough day at the MCG. You're meant to look a bit ragged around the edges after a loss. Neil, it's amazing what a bit of makeup will do.
It was a tough day in the office today. Sydney Swans were very good. We worked pretty hard, but we're outclassed at the end.
Let's have a look at tonight's match, which we've got you here to comment upon. The lineup, starting with Richmond's front end. Richardson's only kicked 25 goals this year. Is he still their best way home?
Look, there's no doubt about that. He'll have a tough day in the office on Mel Michael, and he'll need some help from Schultz tonight.
And Pettifer's been their other big contributor. But Jay Schultz, you mentioned, kicked 6 in a match against Brisbane at the Gabba a couple of years ago.
Yeah, look, and both teams will need some young player to step up tonight up forward to kick goals, no doubt.
In the midfield, once upon a time, Richmond would have been looking for any means to try and stop Brisbane's brilliant machine. It's a bit more evenly balanced now.
Oh, no doubt. And Simmons and Keating in the ruck, they'll have a big say. Their faces come up now. And obviously Black in the middle is a really important player for Richmond to shut down.
Either lineup appreciably stronger than the other there?
Probably with power out in the wing. You'd probably say Brisbane just in front.
Now, Brisbane's front end of the ground has been very much a Bradshaw-reliant forward line in the absence of Brown and Ackermanis. He's kicked 51 goals, had a good year.
Yeah, look, they're starting Merritt up forward. He probably hasn't had the impact they would like. They'll be looking for big things from him tonight.
And Hooper is looking capable of being a junior Aaron Davey.
He's a live wire, there's no doubt about that, and whether Rains picks him up, we're not sure, but he needs to be minded closer. He's kicked goals here at Telstra Dome.
Young Marcus Allen, son of Gubby, making his debut, and both clubs will be looking for a couple of juniors to really step up.
No doubt. Very young team, Brisbane, and where their goals from, they'll rely on Bradshaw, but someone else needs to step up tonight to assist him.
Now, Richmond need to stop the late season rot. Since 2003 inclusive, they have won just 2 games from round 16 until the end of the season. 2 out of 24 is a chronically bad record, and Terry Wallace will want to start stopping the rot tonight. Who's that signing autographs? It's our own Robert Walls, who of course coached the Brisbane Bears and later on Richmond, and obviously still much loved by both camps. There's young Marcus Allen. He'll be a bit nervous as he prepares for his debut game starting on the interchange bench. But Wolsey Quarters, grizzly old coach, but still much loved by the fans.
Yeah, but what you don't know is he charges $5 a pop.
I'm not all bad, Quarters. I'm not all bad. Nice to catch up with a few old friends.
Certainly. It's a night of the Cups tonight, isn't it, for both the Tigers and the Lions. So many new faces. In fact, just about a quarter of the players taking part in tonight's match are first-yearers. So lots to look forward to tonight. It should be tight. Very hard to pick a winner. The action next on Saturday Night Football.
Stolen by Sherman, who kept coming. Runs in. That's a very clever effort.
Here comes Foley. Confident, he says. He's showing some good signs. Howard, the first gamer, kicks his first goal in the big league.
Still up for the Lions, and that looks good.
Look out. Great tackle, Patterson. He's been rewarded.
Now Pollard takes it to Bacon Square. I think he's got the confidence to go himself. It's a very valuable asset, confidence.
The will of the West. That's a great goal. This guy's a good young player. Reigns.
Finds Moody, right to 50, unloads, right to the line.
That's all right. This will be important for the youngster. It's important for the Tigers. It's a goal.
Back in round 4, 5 goals from Trent Crone was the difference as the Hawks rolled the Blues.
Can he bend it through? Yes!
Sunday, Carlton gets another shot at Hawthorn, live and exclusive from 2 at the MCG.
That's all a little easy.
Press red to access a whole world of digital options as 2 crosstown rivals go to war. Your Sunday looks like this. Hawks and Blues live and exclusive from 2. Then Crows and Dockers, the winners live at 7:30 and Cats Saints.
There is a Bunnings phenomenon, and it is highly addictive. Everyone catches it. We're looking forward to seeing you here. We want to help you.
Double and AAA compact battery charger, only $12.98. Bosch 10.8 volt cordless drill, $99. 45 litre laundry tub, $159. Folding aluminium work platform, $59. 58 litre storage tub, just $9.98.
It is fantastic.
Bunnings Warehouse.
Lowest prices are just the beginning.
Hello, Moto. 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. No one covers the AFL like Fox Footy Channel. White Line Fever, weeknights.
Love the show. It's probably one of the best footy shows.
Respected Opinion, Mondays on the couch.
I think there's no doubt now that Hurdy will pull the pin at the end of this season.
Team lineups Thursdays with Fox League teams.
Got up after that, kicked 5 goals in our 30 possessions.
Before Saturday Central fires up your weekend action.
He sledged everybody when he was going.
It's live and exclusive this week on Fox Footy Channel.
Back with the flying power. Not a bad effort. It's better than not bad. The Lions get another one. Richo from the angle. Can he finesse it home? He can. Tigers have the break. Tambling runs in and drives it home. Johnson, who can put the issue beyond doubt, and he does. Richmond are home. The Tigers' first win of the season is a memorable affair.
Good evening and welcome back to the Telstra Dome for Richmond and Brisbane. And there we saw the last time these two teams met, and it was actually Richmond by 14 points over Brisbane at the Gabba. In fact, Richmond have won their last 2 games against Brisbane. And here at the Telstra Dome, Brisbane has actually lost 4 of its past 5. So the odds are in Richmond's favour tonight. And you can tell the die-hard fans, because it's not a big crowd, but the true supporters from both teams have turned out here tonight. And the Richmond supporters very keen to tell me that they are still a mathematical chance of making the finals, as slim as that is, but they would be pleased to know that the odds are in their favour tonight, and they will certainly be full of voice hoping that they get over the line.
Thanks, Christy. They are a chance still mathematically to make the finals. Are we all tipping Richmond, boys?
Yes, Richmond for me.
Neil?
With the Tigers. Tigers tonight,
yeah. As we start this game, round 19. And there's a lot of rookies, as we said, taking part tonight, so look forward to see what they can produce. As we have a secondary bounce in the middle.
Straight up.
It'll be Simmons against Keating. Give that one to Keating. Black dives over the top.
Knock it out. Knock it out. Hit it clear. Come out.
Someone hurt.
Brisbane player injured underneath all of
Keating.
that.
Looks like it's Keating.
They lost Charman a couple of weeks ago here at Telstra Dome, and the big fella looks pretty sick.
And he cannot get up, and the umpire bounced down the ball. Sherman, quick release. Here's a chance for Pask. Inside 50, Merritt contests. There's a chance for Hooper. Overran it. Has another go at it. Merritt's in there again, and Keating is still down in the centre square, and this is what we do not want to see. And it looks like a left knee. Didn't seem to be a lot in it, did there?
There didn't, just rolled over.
Well, he looks as though he's gone virtually before this game started. That is disaster for Brisbane. And it was Beau McDonald mid-season, coming back after a string of injuries. Jamie Charman we saw go down here a couple of weeks ago, and now Keating.
He's all right. He's pushed the trainers away, Tim.
Well, he might hang in there. Now, Richmond going forward. Richardson has been picked up not by Michael but by Joel Patfull, which is an interesting one. Rains kicks long, beautifully weighted ball, and Patrick Bowden's there on the end of it.
And Patrick Bowden needs to kick this. Last week against the Western Bulldogs, Patrick had 3 set shots in the first quarter, missed the lot. And for his own confidence and his team's confidence, he needs to get it. Nice kick by Rains.
He's got the kicking gene. Joel Bowden went way back, and now he's reduced the run-up. Yes, the Tigers kicked themselves out of it early against the Bulldogs last week, and that is a very good start. Terrific goal by Patrick Bowden.
I'm sure tonight Lee Matthews said, well, young Cameron Wood will just use him off the bench for about 15-20% of the game. Clark Keating will do most of the work. Well, those plans have just changed.
Well, there's a confidence restorer, if ever you saw one.
Well, Clark Keating there we see has come off the ground. The doctors are just checking his ribs as he tries to catch his breath, so not good news for Brisbane already.
Ribs, he was holding his left knee.
Probably better news that it is the ribs and not his knee. And what do you know about Cameron Wood, Neil, the young ruckman?
Well, I know he's tall, but he's skinny and hasn't played much footy, and it's a baptism of fire.
Simmons puts the Tigers back inside 50. There's Rowe. Not a bad effort. Didn't quite hit the target, but Brisbane had the numbers. Pask delivers to Notting. He's usually a good kicker of the ball. It's a floater. Bradshaw's caught in between. Makes a contest of it. Deledio, good tackle by Merritt. Bradshaw throws it onto the boot, but it's all Richmond here. Oh, but the bounce favours Hooper, but his handball's intercepted by Rains, and he gives it to Tuck, and the Tigers out of trouble.
Good start by Rains. That's a good kick. Simmons, half back, and Richmond running above the ground at the moment. They look as though they've got an early sniff. Deledio, Patrick Bowden and Tuck, who followed up out of defence, places that into the 50. Pettifer will get it free.
Arms knocked away in the marking contest.
Not to mention nose by the look of it.
Scotty McLaren, the umpire, you can see in perfect position to witness all of that. And Brad Scott, the offender, who announced his retirement from the game through the week. This will be perhaps his 4th last game of AFL.
Well, he's always been a formidable customer back there, Brad Scott. And he'll go out the way he came in, the way he always played. Pettifer fades right. He and Richardson, 25 goals each for the year, lead Richmond's goal-scoring contributors.
Neil, the first 5 minutes, is that the most frantic 5 minutes of a game for a coach, working out the matchup?
Usually, yeah, that's the case. But Terry Wallace will be really happy with the rebound he's getting off half-back at the moment. They've started with plenty of punch off half-back.
Here's Hooper again. Little dish. Over to Moody. Merritt. Got to stand tall here. That's a nice mark taken by Hall. Little dish off to Patrick Bowden, who switches. Simmons having an excellent year. Short to half-back. And it's marked by Polo. And again, good run off half-back from the Tigers. Deledio's been busy. Chips to the 50. And the mark is taken by White. The 19-year-old plays on into the pocket to Pettifer. Finds some space. Now steadies. Kicks towards goal. And marked on the last line of defence by Patfield.
First blood to Patfield against Richardson. Pettifer 2 chances, and he's muffed them both. Sherman receiving from Selwood. Awkward half volley. Tigers winning the loose ball, but well tied up. And umpire McLaren
Give it to him now.
tells Chris Hyde that he didn't make an attempt.
Thanks, Chris.
And so it's still as ball for Brisbane. They've only really had one serious sortie forward. Now this is Wood, who has the big job in the ruck. Bradshaw is their only hope in that situation. He's their big hope for the night. Patrick Bowden's been everywhere so far. Gives to his brother and now to Chaffey. And this is Howard, who acquitted himself well on debut last week against the Bulldogs. He put Polo under a bit of pressure, but Polo was good. Now Tuck, and on the lead, Richardson's got this. And he can test his goal-kicking radar early on in the night.
Neil, you get the impression that the Tigers are going to play on at every opportunity and just try to have quick flow of the ball through the half-back midfield and then set the forwards up.
Important for Richo to kick one early. And he has kicked one early. The Tigers have their second.
You see early in the game that Richmond's game plan is to get back in front of Bradshaw. Simmons there just left his ruckman, got back, and they're very, very happy at the moment. Richmond have a lot of numbers in front of Bradshaw, bring the ball to ground and then flow down the ground, and it's working for them early.
There's Clark Keating. I think that's Marcus Allen next to him. He looks like a little boy. Bradshaw, his opponent is Joel Bowden. That's interesting. Ray Hall's out at centre half back for the Tigers. He's playing on Daniel Merritt.
And no touches yet for Power or Black for Brisbane. As the Tigers, the team that has started full of running. Whistle here. It's a free kick going to Wood.
Stay out, play on.
Is it over to Stiller? Long kick. Merritt slipped over at the crucial moment and coming in from the side and taking a terrific mark is Patrick Bowden.
Where's he playing, Neil?
He's playing back. Both teams are now playing a loose player, and that's something Lee Matthews will need to look at. Rose loose down this end, and they've got one in front of Bradshaw, and right now it's working for Richmond.
Rangy kick by Hall. Schultz attacked the pack hard. Front and centre was Notting. Now Scott. Oh, he's run into trouble. Turnover. Tambling kicks a banana through the middle for a goal.
And it's an example of the loose man not working at the moment for Brisbane. They're freeing up Patrick Bowden down back, and right now Lee needs to ask the question, do I need to send one of my loose players down to make it competitive in our forward line? At the moment it's working beautifully for Richmond.
Great effort by Schultz. He not only split the pack open, but then laid the crucial tackle on Scott and tambling the inside-out kick.
It was a good kick, wasn't it? He controlled it really well. But, yeah, Schultz getting the arm, preventing a clean disposal, and Tambling swooped. Problems for Lee Matthews early.
Well, there's the tag. Luke Power, he's being tagged by Polo. And Simon Black is being tagged by Kane Johnson. Now, Kane Johnson does really well in that role.
Terry Wallace had his team out on the ground in a group in their civvies, in their jackets and ties, but seemed to give them a real heart-to-heart rev-up not long after 5 o'clock, a couple of hours before this game started. And the Tigers have started with a vengeance. And look at them swarming the ball here. Simmons helping it to Hyde, to Tuck. Good takeaway by Richmond. Richardson not quite able to collect low down. Wood, he's going to know he's been in a game tonight. Scott to Sherman. And Brisbane able to work it away cleanly now. Selwood for Pask, who can play on if he dares. He doesn't. Now it is play on. Well, he's kicked to nothing. He was too long for Merritt. He was too short for Bradshaw. Bradshaw protesting that he was held. Simmons to Patrick Bowden, having a picnic back there. And now White and Richmond are on the burst again.
They are indeed. White shorts it into the middle to Tambling. Quick release. Deledio back to Tambling. Gets past Wood. Chips to half-on. Oh, they're queuing up here. Polo over to Joel Bowden. Well, now he's run himself on the spot of other, so he goes backwards and finds Hall. Hall, oh, cracker, unattended in the pocket. But on this occasion, Brisbane have the numbers, and it spills to Sherman.
And Brad Scott having a busy time to Fixter, to Sherman, who is trying to hold things together. Still at a Fixter.
And no one to go to.
No.
No one to go to at this stage. They're going to hang on to the ball over, possess it, lose it. And Richmond are just crowding back inside 50. Bradshaw yet to get back inside 50.
Harding the free kick to Rowe, running out of defence. And again, just doesn't like what he sees up ahead. Notting, an old hand. Back to Rowe was good. Rowe ran into some space. Freed himself up enough to really bomb it. That is a tremendous kick for Brisbane's first goal.
And that's how they're going to have to kick goals tonight. If the Richmond are just going to get all their numbers behind, kicking the ball inside the V to the hot spot, it's going to be an easy counter-attack for Richmond. So they just ran it up, held it, got close to the 50 and had a bomb. Great goal.
Got good purchase on that kick from a long way.
Great goal from Jason Rowe, the third in his 13-game career.
Good job. Play on.
Off the rookie list.
Play on your handball. Play on your handball.
Not much happening at the moment. Eventually it's fed out by Patrick Bowden to Tivendale. Over to Patterson. Now Polo, exciting young talent into the pocket. Richardson.
We called Patterson, Stephen. He's gone into the ruck, and Troy Simmons is staying on the ground. Simmons has gone to the goal square.
Richo's improved the angle. It's still tough from here. He's made a good fist of it. He's got it. Great goal.
Richo is led to the pocket deep twice now, but he's nailed both of them. He'll continue to lead to the pocket for the rest of the night if he can keep kicking them from there.
This was an unorthodox approach because he was running out onto his left, but he straightened.
He did that at the MCG against the Saints not so long ago. Got away with it.
Tigers fourth.
Interesting tactics by Terry Wallace. He's got Simmons in the goal square with Stafford, two giants, and then he's got Richo just out in front of them. And this would be one of the tallest forward setups that they've had all year.
Said that first shot was important for Richo, and so it proved. He nailed it and kicked the second one very confidently. Notting getting back to cover for Brisbane. Sold it beautifully. And the Lions can attack. Again, it's Sherman. Having a good corner here, but he backed himself just a little heavily there. Polo to Patrick Bowden, who sees the opportunity to run out of defence and make something in attack. The talls were there, two of them. Stafford waited back. Rowe to Scott. Wood back to Scott. And now Fixter. Former Swan injury-plagued career, but has played just about every game this year. This is Patrick Bowden again. All Brisbane. Three of them. Oh dear. Richo might do it again. He's got the sniff. Stafford there. Cracker. Missed. They should have made more of it.
Yeah, look, Patrick Bowden's just mopping up, cleaning up down back. There's something that Lee's really got to have a look at. He's had 10 possessions already in this quarter.
And the tags on Power and Black still working a treat. Power yet to touch it. Black just a one disposal.
Kick it now, Jace. Play on! Play on! Play on!
Now, Rowe is being busy so far.
Tamling doesn't realise it's his kick.
It's a free kick, even though it was called play on. Tamling's got it. About 60 from home. To Pettifer. He's been told to go also. He just loads up to that big forward line. And that's a good mark coming in from the side, taken by Copeland. Copeland, oh, gee, just standing there. Patfull didn't expect the pass. Now Richmond get it back. Richo stripped of the ball. Little toe poke to Tivendale. Now Patfull mops up to Power. And this is Power's first disposal in the game as he sweeps the handball over to Fixter.
Dean Polo's been given some big jobs, and he, as often as not, has risen to the occasion. Pask for Brisbane. Still just the one goal, and that was from a bombed effort from a long way out. And it looks as though it's going to be a difficult night for them. This is Wood, who might have the most difficult night of all, the Lions having lost Keating early. Sherman chalking up a stack of disposals. That's his 10th. Blazing there and to not much. And Patrick Bowden is also in double figures.
Disposal 11 to Patrick Bowden, playing both ends of the ground, predominantly back.
And Sherman's got 10 for Brisbane. Oh, good tackle. Or is it in the back, says the umpire? No, in the back. It's against Tupper, and it's going to be taken by Adam Patterson. Foley got it back to Patterson. Now Deledio, the #1 pick back in 2004, averaging 18 disposals this year. Spots up Tivendale with that raking left foot. Now he bangs it long. His target's Simmons, who'll come from the side and almost. No, umpire didn't pay it from the ground. Simmons did well to get boot to ball, but not good enough.
Wasn't far off it, was he?
No. Yeah, it did hit the ground. It's a good call. Just saw that.
Good kick.
He just lost it on the way down, and it did hit the ground. He snatched it up again. A la the odd wicket keeper.
He'll remain nameless, Tim.
Some of Test cricket's darker moments. Here's Sherman for number 11, and he might get 12 as well. He does, as he receives from Adcock. And here is Marcus Allen. His first kick is long and searching for Bradshaw, but well taken under the ball by Patterson, so a throw in.
Luke Power off after 17 minutes, just the one handball.
Have a look at this. He just lost control of it and then got the keeper's glove under it.
What's happening out there at the moment is Deledio is just running down and into the hole, and it's leaving Sherman loose, and Sherman's getting plenty of the ball, but it's making Brisbane just a little bit hesitant going forward with so many Richmond numbers inside 50.
And a bounce just a couple of metres out from the Lions' goal. Expect the Tigers perhaps to concede a rush behind here. That's exactly what they do.
Harding over the ball. Howard coming the other way. Unavoidable. They were both going for the ball. Patrick Bowden just slipping as he kicked. The spectre of an uncertain surface perhaps coming into play. Howard again. And that's a good kick to Richardson, who's giving Patfull a handful in the opening term. Just beyond his range here, so he gives to Tivendale, who would have loved to have played on, but you can see the door closing in his face.
Well, just go back and have a shot, settle down, put it through. 5-goal-to-1 start would be just what Terry Wallace wanted, and he'd be delighted that Powers just had the one disposal, and Simon Black, who's being tagged by the captain, Kane Johnson. Simon Black just one touch.
Greg Tivendale should really kick this. It's close. It is very close. It just misses. The Tigers lead by 21 points.
They're finding a way forward, Richmond. They've been able to mark it inside 50, whereas at the other end, Brisbane are yet to take a mark inside 50.
Rowe's been doing all the kicking in. A long ball. It was a good kick to pass, but he just lost his footing at the crucial moment. And then it allowed some easy pickings for Matthew Richardson.
Bowden will get it again.
Yep, squares it up to Chaffee, gives it to Bowden, a little pop over the top to Simmons. Now what's he going to do here? He stabs the pass, but it's cut off by Brad Scott. Sherman peels off. Gee, this is number 13. He can find the football, Justin Sherman. averaging 21 disposals a game this year. He's already up to 13 in the match. Selwood back in the corridor to Scott, and Sherman again.
He might get another one here before it's done.
Could have another world record tonight, Tim.
Copeland gives to Adcock, to Brad Scott, doing a bit of running, but as Neil keeps saying, there's not much up there. It's all Richmond and Patrick Bowden. Well, he and Sherman are just sharing the footy. They've had 14 each in the opening quarter. Hall places it beautifully for Howard, who has space. And he delivers truly with his preferred foot. Stafford, little dab is pretty good, although it just hung in the air. Rains was under pressure when it finally arrived, and Moody able to make
It's
the
not
spoil.
beyond the realms that Bowden or Sherman could have a 20 disposal quarter here, boys. There's still just under 5 minutes to go.
Clark Keating back on. He'll contest this boundary throw in against Big Stafford.
Keating the front position, got the tap. Stiller got clipped high. Umpire called play on. So just the third throw in of the match. It's deep in Richmond's forward pocket. Stafford and Keating. Into the corridor it goes. Copeland to Sherman. Back to Copeland. Now Selwood. Almost ran into a teammate, but releases eventually. So now the Lions run it out of defence. Harding. Inside 50. Diving was Merritt. Ball was good. Spills to White. Guess who? Patrick Bowden, number 15.
And that's very cleverly taken by Howard, who is really making his mark in the very early part of his career. This is Patterson, miscued, but it's all working for Richmond. Foley hitting the hot spot for Simmons. Stafford doing the roving perhaps. Richardson there as well, and Cracker will goal this time. It's all Richmond. It's a much more formidable looking front half than Brisbane are able to offer. Lots of talls and nice little man there as well.
Yeah, they've got 3 talls down there. Richo was able to crumb that ball very, very well.
And that's the coach at the moment who's getting it all right. He'd be delighted with the form of the Bowdens. The big fellas up forward. Simmons back into the ruck.
And that's a free kick Brisbane's way for a high tackle.
And his 2 taggers doing a great job on Black and Power.
On now. Well, the good news for the Tigers tonight was that they went from round 15 to tonight 430 minutes without being in front on the scoreboard. Well, they've snapped that span well and truly in this first quarter. It's been the longest span in 2006. Hawthorn a second. 265 minutes. They're still going. They get the first against the Blues tomorrow. That'll be over.
Speaking of stats, Sherman's up to 16.
We could have 20.
He's on target for 60 odd for the night.
Copeland, a long ball inside 50. Big pack flying. Good mark. Patrick Bowden.
16 all. And it's a good long ball, and Howard again.
Hey, Bowden's got 8 marks, by the way, too.
Yes, and last week Nathan Bassett of Adelaide had 22, which is a world record.
Howard's had 6 and been impressive. Simmons, he's posing danger too. Looking like taking a big mark in front of goal any moment. Richardson's already kicked 2. Cracker, good little trap in the back. Free kick.
Neil, do you take much notice of stats nowadays, or what stats do you take notice of?
Look, if you're taking notice of Patrick Bowden's at the moment, he's not only is he cutting off every entry, he's setting up their counter-attack, whereas Sherman at the other end, it doesn't matter. He can end up 30 this quarter, and they'll still only kick 1 goal.
You have people in the box with you telling you if a player's got his 6th, 7th, 8th disposal for a quarter.
You don't like here 12, 13, 14, Rob.
do you eventually tell him, shut up, I'm not interested?
So do you put someone on Bowden to do a defensive job?
He has to. It's not working for Lee at the moment. The way he's got extra numbers there is not working for Brisbane. You'll have to change it up at quarter time.
Cracker kicked their last one, and they have their tails up. That is a lovely kick. He has 2. Well, this is the first quarter hammering. Jed Adcock, the offender there, over the shoulder, in the back. In fact, in the old parlance of the game, all over him.
Absolutely. And Cracker, good feel for the game. Felt the Brisbane player behind him and just wait for him to dive into his back.
It's a high disposal game. There's the top 5 at the moment. Sherman and Patrick Boughton 16 each. Scott 9, Simmons 9, Tuck 7. This is Richmond's highest first quarter score this season. Still a bit of time to go. Selwood caught high, nose at the umpire. Good tackle. Cracker in heavy traffic, did it magnificently. That was classy stuff. Out wide to Johnson, who just slaps it forward. Did the team thing. Patterson taken over the line, rugby union style by Rowe. Oh, holding the ball. So free kick going to Rowe.
Straight to him, right there. You've got to dispose of it.
Rowe to Power. Over to Stiller, who carries the ball to the 50. Might go all the way here, runs to 48, decides to kick it to the hot spot, and that's a good mark from guess who? Patrick Boughton, 17th disposal, mark number 9.
He's on his way to 40 marks for the night. Deledio, Hooper in pursuit. Good chase. Didn't quite get a result, but at least held it up. Joel Boughton, Cracker. He's inspired at the moment. He's got his confidence up. Deledio, clever kick. Just didn't quite get the result he wanted, but he might yet. Tivendale can do some damage. Placed it well. Richo there, got it. Did place it well, Tim. Long kick.
Put the Brisbane defender underneath the football, and there wasn't much that Joel Patfull could do once Richo had him under the ball. Andrew Cracker, inspirational. He's hot. And a forward likes it coming in like that.
How's he going to kick this one, Rob?
Well, no certainty. Absolutely no certainty. And I don't say that tongue-in-cheek because Richo's got a history of missing these and kicking the miraculous.
Yes, I think the confidence is surging in the veins, though, at the moment. My money is well and truly on him for a 39-point lead. And it absolutely bisected them. A 3-goal first quarter to Richo. It comes to its end. Richmond have hammered Brisbane in the opening term, and they're reversing a month of bad form.
Yeah, look, Lee needs to now just probably take stock, and there's no doubt that it's not working for him with having loose players. It's not interrupting Richmond's forward line at all. They've taken 6 marks. The loose players for Brisbane aren't able to stop them marking, whereas down the other end, Richmond are marking everything, and they've got no system at all at the Brisbane forward line, so he needs to have a look at it.
Monday, join Spider and the Ox for a complete wrap of round 19 on White Line Fever at 7:30. Then, Jared, Mike and Robert are joined on the couch by St Kilda superstar Nick Revolt to discuss the Saints' run into the finals and the future of his best mate, Justin Kazitsky. 7:30, White Line Fever, 8:30 on the couch, live and exclusive, Monday.
Have you snapped up a great Harvey Norman deal yet? Better hurry, as our amazing 19 months interest-free offer must end this weekend. No deposit, no interest, no repayments for 19 months until February 2008. 19 months to pay for new furniture or bedding, sight and sound or home appliances, computers and mobile technology, the lot. Great buy store-wide and an opportunity you can't afford to miss. No deposit, no interest and no repayments for 19 months until February 2008. Snap to it. Offer must end this weekend at Harvey Norman. Hurry! Go!
Chicken nuggets. Oh yeah, love them. But you know, not big enough unless you're a pygmy. However, Jack's understands hungry. Take a look at these mega nuggets. Now that's more like it. And they come with this freaky dipping sauce. Team that with a Coke and fries and you've made a meal of it. But wait, there's more. Marinated chicken wingettes. Oh yeah, just the thing when you're feeling beckish.
The burgers are better at Hungry Jack's.
Boy, that is a ripper.
Yeah.
Have you snapped up a great Harvey Norman deal yet? Better hurry, as our amazing 19 months interest-free offer must end this weekend. No deposit, no interest, no repayments for 19 months until February 2008. 19 months to pay for new furniture or bedding, sight and sound or home appliances, computers and mobile technology, the lot. Great buy store-wide and an opportunity you can't afford to miss. No deposit, no interest and no repayments for 19 months until February 2008. Snap to it. Offer must end this weekend at Harvey Norman. Hurry! Go!
Exclusive to headliners.
It seemed to go on for an eternity, and I don't know why I didn't back off.
I wouldn't even be surprised if there's been a report down there, Jack.
He seemed to be getting into my face more and more and more.
Carmen in the thick of things down there.
I just dropped my forehead.
Did you see that one? Did you see that one?
I know you can't manhandle umpires, but I just I stood my ground.
The conclusion to the life and times of fabulous Phil Carmen, Wednesday.
Richmond's best first quarter for the season. It was a beauty. 7-4-46 to the Lions, 1-1-7. Richardson 3, Cracker 2 are the multiple goal scorers for the Tigers. And yes, we haven't made a mistake in that first term. Patrick Bowden, 17 disposals for Richmond, and Justin Sherman, 16 for Brisbane. But a great start for the Tigers as Lee Matthews shuffles the names on the whiteboard. Robert and Neil, not much you can do with such a young team.
Well, what's he do, Neil?
Yeah, well, what he's got to do is he's got to think about, well, we played loose players behind, and look, the loose players were initiated by Richmond. They initiated that, and Brisbane reacted, and obviously it hasn't worked for them. I think he has to have a look at it about sending his players to match up, especially on Patrick Bowden, to stop the run and flow that's coming out of Richmond's backline at the moment.
I wonder what Terry Wallace is saying to Patrick Bowden. Keep it up, I'd imagine.
How about getting a kick?
Here's the matchup, Rob.
Yes, it's been amazing, hasn't it? Sherman by himself in the back line. Patrick Bowden's had an opponent for a bit of it. That was Pask, and Delidio was free. But those disposal figures, unbelievable for a quarter of football. And not only that, Patrick Bowden took 9 marks, and 2 or 3 of them in contests like that. So it's just an absolutely amazing start to a game of football.
And kicked their first goal of the night.
Can he continue it?
Well, he's averaging 9 marks a game this season, and he's got 9 already. And as far as statistically, 20 disposals a game. That's for 4 quarters as we go down to Christy Malthouse.
Thank you, Stephen. Well, Clark Keating is going to start on the ground for the Brisbane Lions. He has recovered from that knock to the ribs. He looked in a little bit of trouble when he first came off the ground. It certainly wasn't his knee, it was his ribs. He just took a while to get his breath back, but as I said, he's okay now and will start on the ground. Those Brisbane players, they certainly took their time to get to the huddle. I think they were hoping their coach would cool off before they had to greet him.
One of the things you learn is you don't get into the huddle first when your team's well behind, because you might be the one that the coach has a crack at.
That was particularly when Ron Barassi was coaching, wasn't it?
When Barassi coached, you were always making sure you were about number 13 or 14 into the huddle. You let Percy go first.
Remember that day he was on crutches at Waverley in a big final, and he drove one about half shaft length into the ground. Here go the Lions. Adcock pumps them forward, but there's nothing there. Rains with Hooper in pursuit. He's a good chaser. He's quick, Hooper.
Well, it started exactly the same. Sherman's walking around loose at one end, and Delidio's loose at the other, but Delidio will probably pick up Patrick Bowden's man, and he'll be loose.
Excellent ruck work twice we've seen there by Keating.
Black and Power getting into it, combining there. Power from a long way, and Bradshaw just couldn't hang on. There was a bit of hanging on happening, but not to the ball.
Quick kick in by the Tigers. Delidio to the wing. Got a couple here to choose from. Oh, got Pettifer in the head.
They got a free kick for a push. For high contact.
By the ball. Right in the scon, that ball hit him. He had his arms taken away, and that was a fair enough free kick too. Delidio doesn't waste any time. He puts it towards Richardson, who's game tackled by Rowe and Michael. Little drop kick from Rich on the end. Kept the ball alive. Copel a little soccer off the ground.
Looks as though Richo has a new opponent. Rowe has taken him after Patfull had him in that first quarter, in which the Star Tiger kicked 3 goals. He might be in for a big one tonight. Keating hammering that one Brisbane's way.
That's 3 effective hit-outs in a row to Keating at the centre bounce and 2 boundary throw-ins. And Brisbane have got Daniel Merritt playing in the back line, Rowe playing on Richo, Daniel Merritt on Stafford.
Well, Brisbane controlling the footy a little more. Stiller placing it in front of Rowe, giving Richo something to chase here, and he might get it too. Bad bounce for Rowe. Michael helps him out. Well, Rowe is in the horrors. Pettifer's got him, and he's got him, and he's got the free kick.
Yeah, pretty sloppy by Mal Michael, that handball to Rowe. Just put him under the pump, and now the ball's coming back Mal Michael's way.
Pettifer's got the ball. Short one. Oh, bounced off the chest of Richo. He's kicked 3. Pettifer again, a high ball inside 50. Oh, pass missed it. Bowden's in there. Now it spills to White. Not a bad snap from the youngster. It's a beauty. Great goal from Matt White. That was a nice job, wasn't it?
It was an accidental torp, as it turned out.
Everything's going beautifully for the Tigers at the moment.
I think he might get slung off the footy as he kicks it and wobbles it through. Well done to the young fella.
And Patrick Bowden was the man that got the ball out there in that contest. White finished it off.
This could be a very black night for the Lions.
This is interesting. Daniel Merritt started the game as a half forward for Brisbane. Now, because of the tall forward line that Terry Wallace has got in place, and because Richmond are dominating play, well, everything's going Richmond's way. Merritt now playing on the last line of defence.
Good shark by Selwood, just couldn't break. Keating hammering it forward. Moody, Rains with him. Rains, Moody. Well done, Moody. Hooper, can he use his explosive pace? No, he can't. And White, fresh from a goal, clears and finds Simmons. As Neil said, it's one of those nights where it's all happening for Richmond, all going right. Pettifer, Patrick Bowden running forward.
Free kick. I think Scotty McLaren's found one in the goal square. Schultz. I think he may have been held.
He wouldn't let him lead. He wouldn't lead. He was just holding him.
You heard the umpire. Let's have a look at it. Mel Michael. Does he hang on?
That'd be the bit that Scott saw, I reckon. And
what do you think about that, Neil?
Well, I'm glad I'm not a backman.
Even worse being an umpire. The Tigers lead by 50 points.
Think this has got the makings of a Saturday night special, Tim?
Well, it might break a few records.
And
well, if he saw that, he's got to pay it, doesn't he?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, look, what's got to happen there is one Brisbane line's back. It's got to stand out in front.
So an off-the-ball free kick. And a goal to Jay Schultz. As Mel Michael was caught way behind play, holding on. It is Richmond by a massive 50 points. Only 5 minutes into the second term. Justin Sherman there.
Yeah, well, Sherman's now playing in the forward line. He got all of those disposals playing in the back line in the first quarter. Now he's pushed up to half forward. Dominating the ruck is Keating.
But Richmond won the ball as Johnson got it to Rains to half forward. Richardson against Rowe. Handball out towards Hyde. As always, head over the ball. having an excellent year. He goes short to the skipper. Now Johnson, good vision as he finds Chaffee, who can mark and go here. Plays on. Deledio ran into a wall. Hooper, clever little give over to Keating. His handball was too hot for Pat Fuller handle. Good pick up by Notting through traffic. Great stuff. Got it over to Sherman. Sherman now gives the handball over to Pask. Now what will Pask do? He just bangs it long. And it's Richmond here, and the mark's taken by Rains. Not a good kick. Having a bit of a horror night is Marty Pask.
Just gave Bradshaw no chance. Rains to Hyde, who has space and targets. And Richmond are building menacingly again. Lovely kick by Tuck. Pettifer on the edge of range. A lot of targets. Stafford, Simmons, Richardson, Schultz. 4 talls up there, and Pettifer goes for home. Simmons has got it. It was a matter of time. Well, he's pushed his opponent in the back.
Push out.
So Brisbane's defence given a reprieve. Copeland, who has cracker now, that's a good mark by Selwood under pressure.
And there's the free kick for a push in the back. And Keating milked it for all it was worth.
Lovely dive by the big man.
Copeland. That's a good kick, and Bradshaw's finally found some space, but he's a long, long way from home. Just his second disposal. No mark. Well done by Deledio. Just got the vital hand on it. Now a sweeping handball over to Patrick Bowden. Have to be clever here. Just a high ball. Selwood's the unfortunate man camping underneath it. Did not take a backward step. Well done by Selwood. Got it over to Power, who goes back into the corridor, and Brisbane maintain possession. Stiller.
Pretty gutsy, those Selwood boys.
It was a great effort. Good courage. Just ahead of them now, Brisbane just haven't got a structure. They have no structure. They're going to have to run and carry and have long shots.
Well, Rowe did that in the first quarter and kicked their only goal. He tried it on again. Not so successful. Bradshaw, well tackled by Ray Hall. Black, same fate. Notting. You get the leverage on it, not quite. And Brisbane still with just 1 goal and trailing by 49 points.
Yours.
At half back, mark taken by Chris Hyde. Chips to Rains. And now goes to the wing to Nick Patterson.
Richo's opponent at the moment is Robert Copeland. If they can get a ball to Richo, he'll outmark him.
Oh, Polo's loose. Off to Tivendale. Now he's got plenty of options. He goes to Stafford, and the big fella gets there.
Clark Keating couldn't run with Stafford. Clark Keating could hardly raise his legs to get there to give any kind of a contest at all.
What's been happening, Rob, is because Richmond are on top so much, Simmons has been running Clark Keating off his feet.
Here we go. Play on here. As Chaffee sneaked into the pocket. That's his left foot kick missed.
Margin 50 again. Rowe, he's run quite a long way after playing on, delivers well. Sherman, whose stats are a little more modest in this quarter, having gone forward, hoping for Notting, but 2 are against him. Ball to that man, Patrick Bowden, and it'll be coming back in his direction because Sherman, who's duelling with him on the stats board, is in the way.
Sherman 19, Patrick Bowden 21.
Copeland, that is a little dangerous and it could backfire big time. But Daniel Merritt kept his feet when all about him were losing theirs. Keating to Harding. And Adcock. Notting trying to find a bit of space forward of him just inside the 50, but getting it to someone in the 50 has been the insurmountable task for the Lions. Justin Sherman, 20.
At least he knows how to get it, Robert.
He does.
Adcock, and Richmond have got the 50 clogged up and they just can't see anything they like.
Thanks, mate.
Copeland.
Yep, right now.
That's why you need blokes who can kick it 55 metres, Neil.
Yes, we're They've just filled it up, that's right. So they're not real keen to give it up and allow Richmond to just run it out. But eventually they're going to have to put it in there, and I'm not sure who their target will be.
Just they're chipping it around.
Here it goes. Goes long.
To a crowd. Hooper almost. But they need a bit better than almost at the moment. They'll get a ball up.
Big Jonathan Brown would be handy up there at this stage. But he's not there. They're going to have hard work getting their goals tonight.
Down it goes. Hyde, nice piece of roading. Over to Chaffey, to Rains in the pocket. To Bowden, Patrick, short, Pettifer. And that's a good kick into the middle. Oh, just slipping over on the Telstra Dome turf at the wrong moment was Dean Polo. And that causes the turnover. Stiller. Over to Fixter. To half forward to Pask. Not a lot on offer. Back to Stiller, but Tivendale gets there to spoil the party. And again, the Tigers have the numbers. Chaffey. And the ball in the end ends up in the arms of Delidio, who decides to go for another trot. 3 bounces, 4 bounces, 5 bounces. Into the middle of Telstra Dome. And now he goes long to Schultz. Can't take the mark. Cracker with the roving here. Rowe into the picture. Well done by Rowe. Good win for Brisbane. Did it beautifully. To Wood. To Sherman. Number 21. There's a couple of bounces for good measure. Backs himself. Another one again. So he's going to load up inside 50. A long ball. Looking for, but not finding Pask as the mark's taken by White. Good overhead mark by the small man.
Well, the real contest, Patrick Bowden versus Sherman, is dead level. That could be the Saturday night special. 22 all. Pettifer. That's a good kick for Cracker. Oh, great effort, power, but not quite good enough. Cracker, 2 goals in the first quarter. Has he got the distance? Simmons in the square. He can kick it from straight in front. No, he can't. The umpire's saying he took it outside the square.
Disappointed when you lost him from Melbourne years ago, Neil.
Yeah, that's right. He was second ruck to Jeff White and wanted to get a bigger crack at it, and we weren't able to meet his demands. But he's starting to blossom as a player probably 6 years after he left us.
Left footer, so it's still a straightforward shot. He puts it through, and the Tigers lead by 56 points. Ten marks to none inside 50.
It's an indication of how a forward line's functioning, Tim. The number of marks you can take inside your 50.
Now, that was a line ball. Did he mark it in the square? He's more in than out.
Well, as well as kicking a couple of nice goals. A bit of Cracker magic there.
Clever.
Was brilliant.
Tuck is now tagging Luke Power. Polo's come off. Polo's done a sensational job for 1.5 quarters.
Addison won the tap against Wood. Tivendale. Handball's out. Sherman a little tap off the ground. Now he follows it up. Forces it forward to Black. Out wide to Scott. Tries to bust his way through the pack unsuccessfully. Sherman. Ineffective handball. Now the Tigers are away again. Hyde to Chaffey. Chaffey, little kick to the wing, and he finds Patterson. Good pop over the top. Back to the running Hyde. Hyde now on the left, inside 50. Looks for Richardson. Good spoil by Merritt. Front and centre was Hooper. Got it over to Pask, and now the Lions are away. Long handball to Notting, who usually uses it well. Oh, he had Sherman on. He ignored him. He went for home, and he missed. And Sherman was free inside 50, but probably didn't see him.
65 plays 10. The mighty have fallen a long way, but they're not the mighty lineup that they once were. Just 8 premiership players out there tonight for Brisbane, and there's a massive gap between the experienced ones, the premiership players, and the juniors. Not one who's played between 50 and 100 games. There's the 100-gamers, and then there are the sub-50s. Richmond working it forward skillfully again, but Johnson's kick cut short by Adcock. Notting won't get to go for goal this time. He's too far out. Skimming kick is a gem. Pass dropping a sitter, putting himself under pressure. And now it's all Richmond. And the Lions just totally devoid of confidence by now. Joel Bowden to Howard. And once again, they have that city wing to themselves.
Power off for a break for Brisbane. Ball squared up into the corridor to Simmons. To Tuck. Little sidestep. Now over to Patterson. And Patterson goes for home. On the line, marked by Richardson.
It's just confidence. Richmond are full of it at the moment, and full of running, and they're actually getting...
Richo plays on for his fourth, and he's got it. Margin out now to 10 goals. That make it 61 points. 71 plays 10. Richardson leads the goal-scoring list with 4. Cracker's got a couple. They're the only multiple goal scorers in the game so far.
There's a line ball. Did he mark it inside?
Inside.
Terry Wallace would be pleased about a lot of things tonight.
And particularly pleased with Patrick Bowden, who's played forward, back, and now forward again. 23 disposals, 11 marks to Patrick.
Matthew Richardson has already equalled his biggest bag of the season. 4 before half-time. One suspects there'll be more where they came from. Richmond, the Tigers. Foley, Howard running onto it. Away they go again, and here he is again. Did he do enough? No, he didn't. Play on the call. Pettifer hasn't really been able to get among them yet. Now Richo's got it. No, still hasn't got it. Rowe had a share of it. Richo back for another bite. Brisbane free kick. Brad Scott's ball.
Brad Scott, who, as Robert Wall said earlier, announced his retirement this week. He'll be finishing up at the end of the home and away season. A couple of flags, started his career at Hawthorn.
Tough night to make your debut.
Yes, Marcus Allen didn't kick across the face, I noticed there. Went straight down the line, Tim.
As you can see, Simon Beasley lurking, turning the odds.
Scott over to Rowe. He goes for a casual stroll. Oh, gee, he just was in 2 minds, and that split seconds cost him dearly. Oh, look at this. Howard to Richardson, who marks, plays on, and Richardson will kick his 5th. This is a shellacking of the greatest order at the moment.
What about the Tiger faithful behind the goals? Are they having a good night tonight, Tim?
Rowe he thought about dishing off, didn't he, Rowe? He had Michael there on his right and just was in 2 minds, and the split second he lost the ball, and Howard's kick was perfect to Richardson, who's now got 5.
Bad moment for Jason Rowe.
Yes, what he doesn't naturally handball. I've watched him play a bit this year, and he predominantly kicks. Handballing doesn't come naturally to him, and a couple of times tonight he's got himself into trouble because he just hasn't been fluent with his hands.
Margin 67 points. The Lions are playing like bears. Ball up.
I'll have it, guys.
Simon Black in picture there. He's had 7 handballs for the game, no kicks. Kane Johnson is tagged, never more than a metre away from him.
Well, Brisbane have had it forward a bit. They've entered the 50 23 times after that kick from Marcus Allen. They've kicked just 1 goal from those entries. Bradshaw had it for a moment. Joel Bowden just blazing. Schultz All tied up. Tuck. Rains. Good tackle by Notting. Umpire letting it go for a long time. Not a lot happening. Hooper has done some exciting things this year. Almost. Not quite. Maybe. Bradshaw. Rush behind. Margin 66.
Two in the square. Come on, Mark.
Joel Bowden brings it back in.
Kane Johnson coming off. First time he's come off the ground. He's been on Simon Black for the entire game.
Hyde carries it outside defensive 50. Now switches to the Docklands side to Schultz. And his kick to the wing is pretty good. And it's marked by Delidia, who did not like the treatment he received from Joel Patfull. Plays on to Foley. Foley. Oh, and desperate stuff from Adcock. Just as Joel Bowden had chalked up his 24th disposal.
And have a look at that, Richo. Dominant target for the Tigers. Bradshaw for Brisbane. Brisbane just 11 points on the board. Lowest score for the season is 34.
Good effort by Sherman. Didn't add to his stats, but geez, fighting hard. Tigers applying pretty fair pressure to Cheney Stiller. So a ball up.
Simon Black coming off.
Power back on. And Power squeezing it out. Sherman, Harding, Notting, Scott just had to wait for it and then retreat a little. Notting runs forward. Howard coming after him. Won't be easy for Notting. Pack of wolves after him. Tigers want deliberate, they get it.
Just once again, Brisbane going forward. They see your spare man Chaffey waiting there for the kick. They're hesitant, they send it wide, turn it over. Now it's rebounding.
Ball quickly to Cracker. Now what's he going to do here? Decides to handball. Over to Howard, who looks a very polished player. Cameron Howard hits the post. Kicked a goal last week in his first game of league footy. Got 23 disposals on debut. Played last season with the Box Hill Hawks. Looks useful.
He does. Rowe. Now they've got problems at the back end of the ground. Not a lot of targets. He's told he's played on. Well, that's meet retreat, isn't it? You see that when a team's protecting a lead of a couple of points late in the game.
Yeah, it won't be another point. He's got to kick it onto his boot. You'll find it that ball this up.
Yeah, it's a ball up. It's a bounce.
So a ball up. No, you can't handball it.
You've got to kick it clear.
You've got to kick it clear. That's correct.
It's a second action.
You've got to kick it to yourself and then walk back if you want another point kick in, Tim.
Players don't know the rules, Neil.
Jason Rowe didn't know the rule just then.
Tigers chance. Howard got a goal this time.
Brisbane Lions. Brisbane Lions. Yeah, I saw it. Brisbane Lions Luke Powell boost. Brisbane. Easy.
Going to reverse this. Is going to be a point, I think, Tim.
Yeah, Troy Pennell, umpire number 31, saying he saw it touched.
The goal pay the goal and then give another one.
Now he's going to get a free kick here, is he? What's he going to do? Is it going to be a free kick as well? I think it was going to be a free kick to Richmond, but because the goal umpires insisted it was a goal.
Stephen, I'll pay the free kick for 2 by. So it's another kick to go. Yeah, Luke, you know, no head contact.
Whose boot? Looked like Luke Powell's boot.
Yeah. That's what umpire panel was saying. The goal umpire thought it was a Richmond goal, but he was wrong. So they're going to pay that goal anyway.
Walk away 5 metres.
And And another kick. So there'll be 2 goals.
So they'll credit a goal to Howard and one to Patrick Bowden.
And that is a charity. That was not a free kick.
The real concern with this, Rob, from a coaching point of view, is that by giving that free kick, it encouraged the opposition to actually wrestle and push and shove and just try and suck the umpire in. And if they just didn't pay it, then, you know, players go, well, I'm not going to get away with it. Because there's a chance of that, there's a lot of this little pushing and shoving and waiting for that, especially near goal.
Well, Patrick Bowden initiated that contact. And that was just 50-50 situation.
But it was contact to the head, to the face, which they say they will pay the 0 tolerance
I
on.
didn't see contact to the head.
That's what he paid.
Tigers by 79. It's all happening. And it's another clearance here for the Tigers. As Hyde kicks to the wing to Cracker. Fisting it away as Adcock. Still a Richmond ball. White keeps it alive. Now Hooper. Clever little kick. And Luke Power kicks to half forward. Not a great one. Notting's bowled over. Big Stafford picks it up. Here's another opportunity for Richmond.
Patrick Bowden reaches 25. Chaffee. And it is all Richmond through the heart of the corridor. Foley can just have a look at the cue. Did that touch the ground? No, Scott McLaren's paid it. And Shane Tuck has the kicking power to deliver from there. In the last minute of the half, and what a dark hour of football this has been for the Brisbane Lions.
Did he mark it, Tim?
My first instinct was no, but the umpire was happy, and that replay probably confirms his judgment. To stretch the lead to 85, and that is a pretty fair kick, just fading right. 80 points will do. I'm sure Terry Wallace would have taken it. Oh, what do you reckon? On that angle, Neil, I think I might have been right first time around.
2 minutes, Richard,
Scott marks in the back pocket. It is the Tigers by 80. Selwood. Short to Copeland. Who thought for a short space of time about becoming a Tiger.
Okay, Richard, just said.
And that'll be half-time. And what a half it was for Richmond. As good as they were, the Lions were terrible. 14-7-91 plays 1-5-11, Rob.
Well, I tapped Neil on the shoulder and said, your turn to say something, because what can you say? You've got to give Richmond credit. That's what you've got to do. They've played some really good attacking football. Their half-back line's been strong. They've got extra numbers to the ball. Their foot skills have been far better. They've got dominant forwards, tall forwards, and they have forced, Terry Wallace has forced Lee Matthews to be on the defensive with everything that he's done.
Richmond's biggest first half in 21 years since 1985.
Winners.
Fab gets the kick away.
Losers.
That's about as bad as it gets.
And everything in between.
What a beauty.
He's getting out.
The Winners. 7:30 Sunday night on Fox Footy Channel.
This one lady came in, wanted to make a mahjong board, so I put 3 pieces of timber together for her, and we made it up. She said, it's $22 for that, but you've just made it for 4.
Hammerco set of 4 glazed pots, only $10. Smart outdoor bistro blind, $88. Misty sink mixer, $36.60. Red line 48cm plastic toolbox with tray, just $9.48. If you happen to find a cheaper price on a stocked item, we'll beat it by 10%.
So she liked that.
Bunnings Warehouse.
Lowest prices are just the beginning.
Your wife called.
Oh.
She seems nice.
Fun meets functionality with a new Motorola Razr V3X.
Hello, Moto.
Sewell towards Ladson. Pinched by Brennan. Oh, he can do anything. Oh, that is amazing football.
Chicken nuggets. Oh, yeah, love them. But you know, not big enough unless you're a pygmy. However, Jax understands hungry. Take a look at these mega nuggets. Now that's more like it. And they come with this freaky dipping sauce. Team that with a Coke and fries and you've made a meal of it. But wait, there's more. Marinated chicken wingettes. Oh, yeah. Just the thing when you're feeling beckish.
The burgers are better at Hungry Jack's.
Another moment of genius from Toyota. Most memorable grand final moment of all time. Specky of all speckies, taken by another Alex Jezelenko.
Alex Jezelenko!
Dave, it's 1970 Blues versus Pies. Now, Jezzy, you stand here. I'll be Mackay. And Dave, you can be Jurgen Jenkins. You happy? It's not... Dave, that was a really good suit. You've lost a little bit of the spring in your step. But I think all we need is leverage.
Little bit of leverage for Jezelenko. You'll be okay.
Oh,
Jezza!
What could go wrong? Nothing. No, that's not going to work. Not much height there.
It's time for plan B.
That's beautiful.
Mackay kicks it to the wing position. Oh, Jezza! You beauty!
Hey, boys, oi.
Yes!
Nice grab.
Last week on The Gospel...
I need a dog breeder to come up with a dog for me. A good man dog that you can be confident when you go down the park that you're not compromising your sexuality.
That's The Gospel on Fox Footy Channel.
Here are the nominations for the Toyota Goal of the Week in round 18. We start with a classy finish from a classy player, the Cat, Stephen Johnson.
What Steve Johnson will we see today?
I reckon there might be a dozen players in the comp who could kick that type of goal.
Brendan Favola makes the easy look hard, but doesn't he do it well? What a very good goal. And we finish with a guy who's in some red-hot form, Daniel Kerr.
Down towards half-forward. Scribble bounces Kerr, 55 metres out. Bacon square, Sexton kicks a long goal. He's a star.
Welcome back to the Telstra Dome, and that was the nominations for the Toyota Goal of the Year for round 18, and quite a difference in the voting. The experts actually tipped Steve Johnson's snap to be the best goal, but the public, perhaps a popularity vote, they voted for Brendan Favola, so he was the overall winner for the Goal of the Week for round 18. Now, Richmond are up by 80 points here at halftime at the Telstra Dome, but at halftime they got into a really tight huddle on the ground and stayed there for about 2 minutes. Obviously, if they're any chance of making the finals, they want to have a good percentage, so the senior players had a lot to say at halftime before they headed into the rooms.
Well, so far so good. They lead by 80 at halftime as we start the third term, and I guess the interesting thing is what Brisbane have done with their lineup at halftime. Rob and Neil.
Not a lot different, though, I don't think, Rob.
No, I reckon they need to put 4 or 5 blokes who might be able to kick a goal up forward. You'd have Brad Shaw there.
Come out.
And looks like Notting might be up there.
Tuck puts Richmond deep inside 50. Rowe. Boys, he had a busy night. To Copeland. Handballs over to Power. Stiller. Oh. Adcock stands up, back to Power. They're under pressure already, Brisbane. Stiller again. Adcock, that's better as he goes a bit longer and he finds Notting.
I just believe they need to get some goals on the board now. It might mean that Richmond kick quite a few more. Well, that's okay, but they can't finish the game with only 3 or 4 goals on the board. Then their supporters go home with absolutely nothing out of the game.
1 goal to Jason Rowe. 2 behinds to Tim Notting. And 3 rush behinds as Brisbane score.
Richardson has his third opponent. Patfull started there, then it was Rowe. Might have been someone in between. Now Merritt.
Yeah, Merritt picked him up about halfway through the second and did a couple of useful things, but Richo was still able to score goals easily.
Notting appealing for the trip and getting it. So a chance for the Lions to kick the first goal of the half, and there's a bit below the knee there.
Well, we know this fella's a thumping long kick. If he gets a good run up, and he's certainly come back a long way, has Tim Notting. If he can get some real speed and momentum up, he's every chance to put it over the fence.
1-2 for the year from set shots. This is a bit tricky.
Gone left.
Too tricky. And Deledio takes it over. So the Lions still with just the one goal and facing an embarrassing deficit.
Likes the long run up, doesn't he? And set shot didn't work for him.
Joel Bowden's kick finds Hyde.
But you'd think, Neil, that he would have worked that out by now, Tim Notting.
Yeah.
On the run with real quick foot speed, he can kick the ball 60 metres. A set kick like that, he didn't make 45.
Beautiful kick by Johnson, finds Rains, arches the back, kicks into the pocket to Richardson, who kicked one from here in the first quarter in rather unusual fashion.
If he opens the angle up this time, it'll be too far from goal, so he won't open it up. He'll just have the shot. Will he pass it off, Rob? You coached him.
I think he's thinking I might be able to thread this through. His confidence is sky high at the moment.
5 straight to Richo. Oh, it's not a bad effort. Oh, it's hit the post.
Hit the stick.
He rode it all the way to Richo. He was about to celebrate to the fans and hit the woodwork.
Marks inside 50, 14 to the Tigers, none to Brisbane.
He is an extraordinary confidence player, isn't he, Matthew Richardson? He kicked the first one tonight, and his shooting for goal has been nothing short of superb. 5-1, and that was a very honourable miss. Jed Adcock kicks to a contest. Patfull came down with it, but Deledio had a share. Patfull wins. Black, quiet night tonight.
Neil, when you coached against Brisbane at their best, did you go out to put a tight tag on 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, or did you think, well, we can't cover them all because there's half a dozen who are so good?
No, we've been always trying to tag Black over the years, and he's just been a master against us. But Kane Johnson, I've been watching him for the last month. He's been super with the tags. He's done a terrific job again tonight.
There's Power. High ball to the 50. Bradshaw. Is that a mark? Not awarded.
Probably the last 6 years we've spoken about Brisbane's midfield, Ackermanis and Voss and Lappin and so on. How do you compare the Brisbane players at their best with Kerr, Cousins, Judd?
Well, I reckon Brisbane were better in and under, even though Kerr's been very good. I think West Coast are better midfield from the point of view exploding away from contests. You know, Voss and Black and those blokes were terrific inside, but they had nowhere near the explosion away from the ball that the West Coast with Judd and Cousins and Kerr. They're just fantastic midfield.
Another 30-plus possession game for both Kerr and Judd this afternoon. The West Coast win over the Kangaroos. Now here's another opportunity for Brisbane.
Mark inside 50.
Yep, nothing.
Mark.
Let's see if he's learned anything.
He needs to go back, take a bounce, I reckon, Rob. Take 2 bounces, do a little shimmy, and then have a crack.
Well, he's gone back far enough. He's gone back 23 metres from the man on the mark, so run in fast, young fella.
And Tim Notting, he's got 2 behinds next to his name so far. That's what he faces. Here he comes. 3 behinds to Tim Notting.
Well, they can laugh.
Beautiful outswinger, Tim, to a left-hander, that one. Left to right. Would have been snicked through the 3rd slip, I reckon.
Went a bit early, though, I thought.
Yeah.
He would have liked the swing to come just after it crossed the scoreline. Joel Bowden with a bit of help from Deledio. Oh, they've given it back to Notting. The distance has got him this time. Oh, it's not Notting, it's Adcock. He gives to Brad Scott. All Brisbane at the moment.
Yeah, that'd be a concern for Terry, like in the sense of going in, you know, 80 points in front. His only concern really is if they just take their foot off the pedal, start to finesse, and it's been a bright start for Brisbane.
Not too much finesse about that kick from Hall. He banged it long with a great result. Simmons off to Chaffee. Stafford there, but he had a few against him, and Copeland's fist it was that took it to the boundary.
Schultz not happy.
Yeah, not at all, was he?
Schultz was on the lead. a couple of metres in front of Jason Rowe. Chaffey ignored him and kicked it to a contest, which you're not allowed to do nowadays, Neil.
Is that right, Rob? At the moment, they're going to the goal square. It's working for him, Richmond.
Simmons has kicked the goal. Number 2 to Troy Simmons.
What they'd like about that was a ruckman tapping to a ruckman, Rob.
Well, that's how
leave the rovers. You just stay out. The ruckman to ruckman who puts it through.
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Because Stafford does the ruck work against Mel Michael.
He called for it too, didn't he?
And you've got to say, where was Clark Kearney? Lee Matthews and Craig Lambert. Craig Lambert, champion player with Brisbane Bears and then the Brisbane Lions. And Craig has looked after the midfield throughout the premiership years, done an excellent job.
Beautiful ruck work by Stafford. There's no doubt that Simmons called for that too. And he got it lace out for his second goal. Adcock over to Power. Oh, beautifully done by Foley. Won the hard ball. Floats one inside 50, but Merritt cuts off Richardson.
Good on the young fella. Stood in front. Quick kick came out. He was in the right position. Might do his confidence some good.
Keating's just been told to come off. That may well be because he wasn't down there to contest that last boundary throw in. It was Mel Michael up against Stafford. Well, Stafford's the ruckman. Mel Michael's the full back.
They got high hopes for Merritt, Rob. He's only 21. You know, he's had glandular fever early in his career. Played most of his footy up forward. Is he a bit one-dimensional? Where do you think he's going to be best positioned?
Well, I think eventually he could be a really good key forward, but I think this is terrific to see him given a chance to play as a key defender on a really good player in Richo. That's terrific for him. The other thing about Daniel Merritt, Gold Coast boy, and didn't play much Aussie rules until he was a late teenager. There he is there. This is a great education for him.
Doesn't lack size, that's for sure.
And they say over 20 metres he's as quick as anyone.
Foley chips it out in front of Hyde. Gathers, swings onto that left. Oh, now handball's off. Delidio, bit of fancy footwork, runs to 48, kicks into the goal square. Richardson flew, couldn't mark. Staying down was Scott. The Lions get out of danger. Not a lot on offer, though, for Scott. He's going to have to kick towards the boundary line, but he can't make it. And taking the mark as cracker, and he's got little options everywhere.
Well, he just had nothing to kick to, and in the end he knew that he was going straight to the opposition. Pettifer. Delidio offering. He goes long. Stafford their hope, but in front. That's a good solid grab by Cameron Wood, who has come on to replace Keating. Power. Stiller. And away go the Lions, Notting with Sherman calling for it. Notting said, "You've had it enough tonight." Power, though, gives it to him. Stiller again. And this is Patfull, who started on Richardson down the back, playing up in the front half now. Not sure about that placement. Might be a chance yet. Hooper, well tied up. Has another go. Same result. Ball up.
Are the umpires stricter on the 20-metre short pass, Neil? I get a feeling that they're not giving him much leniency.
No, definitely in both inside 50s, back and forward. They're really tightened up on that.
Good umpiring to get it going quickly.
Fair enough. Daniel Bradshaw's having one of those dirty nights. I was just watching. He was caught in between. He's got Pask in behind him. He needs to just anchor himself at that goal square. He's the man they've got to go to. And that just hasn't been in position to go to in this quarter.
Johnson's handball. And then it comes out to Wood. Now Sherman again. Looks for Notting. Can't take the mark. Idea was right. Execution just not quite good enough. Good tackle by Polo. Now Rains. Chaffey. Hemmed in. Handball missed the target. Sherman, well, he's done everything else. Can he kick a goal? No, he can't. 29 disposals now for Justin Sherman.
That's some effort, isn't it? 29. Not quite halfway through the quarter. Andrew Cracker been good tonight. Kicked a couple of goals. Finds Patterson here. Tambling. Rains. Back to Tambling. He's quick. Schultz, awkward for him. Clever. Gives Simmons a shot at it. Tuck. Michael contains him. Copeland to mop it up. And it's Sherman again. He's only 19, Justin Sherman. He was picked in round 4 last year, only being 18 in a couple of months at that time, and he has not missed a game since. He's played 37 on the trot, and for a kid of that age to hold his place through that says something for him. Adcock. That's a pretty good kick, and Pasca's on the end of it.
Well, he's a third cousin to Ricky Ponting. He's racking up Ricky Ponting-like numbers tonight.
Well, he's at 31 disposals. Good Tasmanian, Tim.
Oh, yes. Comes from Clarence on the eastern shore in Hobart. Well, they used to have to swim across after the bridge came down in 75.
Not letting him run to the footy, mate.
So we've got a free kick going to Bradshaw here.
He's done a good job, Joel Bowden. It's like he sacrificed his own attacking flair tonight, and he's done a very good job on Bradshaw.
As the umpire said, he didn't allow Bradshaw the opportunity to run at the ball. Hasn't bothered the scorers yet, Bradshaw. He's got 51 goals for the season, and now he can make that 52 as the Lions get their second.
Well, they've raced to 2 goals, Tim.
Yes, they have, and they celebrated it as best they could, I thought, Neil. Must be hard to arouse that sense of optimism out there when you're getting hammered like this. There's the other end of the ground. It looks like Michael on Simmons, Rowe on Schultz. Richmond's talls have worried Brisbane all night. Good win there for Wood. Down to Stiller. A couple of good minutes here for the Lions. Rains running into trouble. Brisbane try to apply pressure. Doing it pretty well, but White is able to keep his composure and give to Joel Bowden. Kick just a little wide. Tambling not able to collect it, so a throw in. Brisbane's side of the wing. 78-point margin. It was looking as though it might blow out to 150 by half-time, but Brisbane a little more competitive here early in the second half. Patterson bumps Richmond forward. Richardson, 5 first-half goals. Good collect by Tambling. Howard, who is a left-footer. Possibly not the best spot for it, but Schultz has taken a good mark. Well, Howard put it close to the scoreline, which normally gives the defence a better than even money chance, but Schultz was in good position.
Boomerang.
He's only managed 1 of their 15. Having a furtive peep out of the corner of the eye. The left footer. The second poster of the quarter.
The margin's 79. Copeland goes for a bit of a stroll. Long kick to the wing. Well, that's a free kick Richmond's way. Advantage paid. Now Tuck. Chips to the pocket. Schultz again. Rowe does the spoiling. Is it still alive? It is. Tuck keeps it alive. Over to Foley. Quick kick. Now Michael didn't get the best of bounces. Richardson, some soccer. 2 behind his turn to Matthew Richardson. 5 goals, 2 for the night.
The cross to Simmons might have been the best option. He was lurking in the box. Didn't quite make it. Allen to Hooper, and that's a good collect. Ryan Hooper hasn't been able to do any damage up forward tonight. Hasn't stopped trying. Finds Bradshaw. But he's had to come a long way from goal. Allen gives him a call in short. Decides against the first gamer and gives to Stiller. Adcock now. Does he bomb? It's crowded in there. Wood sells the dummy neatly, and he bombs. Big pack. Bradshaw from the side. Good collect by White. It might be coming back, though, because the only man there is Scott, and here's a mark inside 50 to Selwood. Scoring chance.
Richmond very happy when Brisbane bring it in from the wings. They've got their numbers back, and it's made the young Brisbane Lions very hesitant to send it in. They stop, go slow, go sideways. It's really sort of suited Richmond's defence tonight.
50-metre shot comes curling back, but didn't have the penetration. And those round numbers on the board are wrecked. Margin 79.
Joel Bowden short to Hyde. He kicks to the wing. Polo's going to have to be good here, and he can't beat two, though. And the mark's taken by Rowe, who's not stopped trying. Over to Allen. Marcus Allen in his first game, and his pass is good.
He should make the distance here, Robert. We found it here last week, talking to a number of our forwards, that when they're having set shots with their foot going down just prior to striking it with the other foot, it just shifted a little bit, and it just took, they reckon it took some distance off their kicks. Look, he should easily make the distance here, but you get a lot more distance at the MCG.
Joel Patfull from 49 metres out. It's a left to righter, but only a point.
Well, they're winning the quarter, Brisbane. And I suppose Lee Matthews at half-time, when they were 80 points down, he would have been more than happy to be 19 minutes into the third term and have his team in front on this quarter.
Rains receiving from Bowden. A couple of sons of former Tiger players. And Rains hasn't done too much wrong in his very fine season. Now Hyde receiving it from Joel Bowden. And under little pressure, Richmond moving it well. Schultz. Now Hall forward of the centre. Deledio from a long way. Good contact. Good goal. Tigers go further ahead.
She made that snap look easy in the end.
Yeah, we're just pumping up the lines, and then they've taken it basically one end to the other, Rob, without a Brisbane line laying a glove on it.
Just got to admire the way that Joel Bowden's playing his football. He really sets up that much attack from the back half for Richmond. Had a couple of wonderful seasons. Simon Black in picture there, and he's tagged for the night Kane Johnson not far away. 8 disposals, all by hand. He has not had a kick.
Wonderful goal from Brett Deledio. Tambling. Handball spills to Tuck, to Johnson, to Hyde. He's getting plenty of it in this term. A long kick. Richmond forwards caught out of position. Rowe decides to do the spoiling as Merritt was about to take the mark. Went the safety first option. Mal Michael keeps it alive, or does he? No, it's a try to Merritt.
He played a bit of rugby. Put it under the post.
He's a Queenslander.
Not quite as spectacular as Mal Michael's effort up at the Gabba a couple of weeks ago. Selwood, as the Lions have the task of bringing it out of the back half, and Richmond have them pretty well covered. Pressure on Stiller, but Hyde couldn't quite get there to make a spoil. 85-point lead to the Tigers. Before three-quarter time, Rowe on the end of this one. Adcock, Power, Rowe again, Power again. put under some pressure and the kick's untidy. Well played, Tivendale, just getting a hand in there. Rains, Hall, surrounded. Edged out nicely by Notting. Ball up.
Let him go. Give me the ball. Give me the ball. Right.
Pretty lacklustre old quarter this. Richmond starting it with an 80-point lead at half-time, and the game not really pointing further in one direction or the other since then.
Selwood goes out wide to Scott. Brad Scott. Chips. Oh, good mark in the end of Tuck. Didn't know what was coming. Look at this. Oh, the breakaway. Patrick Bowden. Disposal number 26. He has 2 bounces. He might go all the way here. 3 bounces, 4 bounces. Bowden loads up. Bowden has missed everything.
That's it. That's it, Richard. Thank you. Bye, Luke.
Little trip there, but totally accidental from Joel Patford.
Patrick Bowden just had a terrific season after crossing from the Bulldogs to the Tigers. Just wanted to ask you, Neil, when you get a new player to your club like a Byron Pickett, do you sit down with them for lengthy sessions to tell them about your club?
Oh, no, I think you just tell them they're going to get opportunity, and sometimes that's enough for them to maybe it wasn't the case with Byron, but maybe Patrick may have thought he wasn't getting the opportunity at the Western Bulldogs, and obviously he's getting opportunities, growing in confidence, and got his spot down back. And now he's chasing Jamie Sherman, who's got 31 possessions. Patrick's got 26. They're going head to head at the moment. Rob, who's going to win?
I'll give you an example of what you're just talking about is Ted Richards at Sydney Swans.
Yes, yeah, opportunity. Ted Richards played 17 senior games this year for Sydney in his career with Essendon. Never got more than 11 senior games in a season. So opportunity and being played does give confidence to a player.
And a lot of these Brisbane young Lions players are getting opportunities, and they've been pretty good so far this year. They just find it tough tonight.
Patrick Bowden's shot at goal a little while ago was his only disposal of the quarter so far.
He's been taken off, Tim. Patrick.
This is White, who's been a good contributor for Richmond. That's a good mark by Jed Adcock under pressure.
Right, Jed.
Got a corky for his measure, I think.
Selwood. Power is loose. That's where he goes. Rose running for him over the top. Now, this is the important one into the 50, and he delivers it. Black hoping for Allen, putting the youngster under pressure. Joel Bowden to Hall. Good chase by Hooper again. Hall just getting boot onto it to avoid being pinged. Power fighting on. Foley over the top of it. Hooper trying to pick his pocket.
The endeavours there, Rob. They're having a crack. They're having a crack.
And the umpire letting it go. Rowe to Allen. He's finding out what the A-League is all about. Hall to Tivendale. Patfull's got him. Good chase. Good tackle. Rowe from a long way. Did it in the first quarter. Couldn't quite do it there.
Well, there's one veteran on the bench, Kane Johnson. He's done his job on Simon Black tonight. I just wonder what Michael Voss would be thinking, sitting back home in Brisbane watching this. Does he play on next year? It's such a young, developing team. Or does he think, I've done all that I possibly can, the knee's not much good, it might be time just to call it quits?
I know what Lee Matthews would want him to be thinking.
It's interesting, he's played every game bar this one, Michael Voss, so it's not as if he's been used sparingly, and also he's been used in heavy traffic. I think he's only kicked the 2 goals for the season. It's not as if he's been kept in the forward 50 and allowed to be nursed through the year.
Schultz has got it. Kicks a high ball, hoping for the big man. Oh, Richo's got it. The big man is fired. Good contested mark, the tip of the goal square. And Richo will go back, and you'd think kick his 6th.
Bit stiff there, Tim, with the handball. free kick against? I thought he
just came away from the palm before he got the fist onto it, didn't it? But
ever so slightly.
Yeah, that was in slow motion.
Richmond's highest score this year was 110 points versus Geelong in round 9. So if he puts this through, it's another record for the Tigers in season 2006. 6 to Richo.
Well, it was always going to be his night after he kicked that second goal, playing on, cutting the angle from out on the boundary.
You see him working here hard on screen. Merritt gets in a pretty good spot, and then Robbie Copeland just twists him, and Richo takes another terrific mark.
6 goals to Matthew Richardson. Didn't look happy when the delivery didn't come a bit earlier. He's bad body language.
He's been a terrific player for Richmond. 231 games, close to 700 goals. Just about averaging 3 goals a game in a period where they haven't been a successful team, haven't played a lot of finals.
There's Adcock, and well, he had a target or two, but the one he went for seemed non-existent, and that's the end of Brisbane's last chance in the third quarter to add to their 2-goal tally for the night. Here's Richo, just a little frustrated.
Not happy. We've seen that plenty of times, but it doesn't stop him going back and giving a strong contest against a couple.
Happy now.
He's a happy man now. He's kicked 6. Always said one day he'd kick 15 goals in a game, Tim. Not sure that'll happen with the way footy's played today, but I coached him for a couple of years, and back in '96 he kicked around the 90 goals in the season, and he looked as if he could have kicked 15 goals in a game a couple of times.
He's showing tonight just how dangerous he can still be. He has 6. The Lions trail by 89 points, and Lee Matthews is not happy.
Siren, and he has to kick it for the Cats to win. The fate of the match riding on Peter Riccardi. It leaves the boot. It's swinging back.
Classic Quarters, Monday on Fox Footy Channel.
I'd like to run some tests on you, Lincoln. What sort of tests? There's an island, but they're not lost. There's flirting, but it's certainly not Big Brother.
You two, watch your proximity.
They want to escape, but this is no prison break. I think they're gonna kill you.
Going to the island.
Jordan, there is no island! From the director of Armageddon and The Rock.
2 of our products have escaped.
Comes an amazing race to be the ultimate survivor. Why did they lie to us? Go, 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 go!
Do not let him get away! Jesus must love you! Come on, girl! I know Jesus loves you!
The Island. Season commences August 27 on Movie 1 and Movie 2.
Thursday on Fox League Teams, join Footy's esteemed panel of all-stars for the latest team lineups and to-the-minute football analysis.
Take that out of the game. We're getting to Gaelic footy and we don't want it to come out in the public and do that. It reeks of arrogance. Don't say Mark Harvey didn't instigate that.
Fox League Teams, live Thursday on Fox Footy Channel.
$89 points. The Tigers lead the Lions at three-quarter time. Richardson's got 6. Patrick Bowden, well, the well dried up for him in that third term. He's stuck on 26 disposals. Sherman continuing on with 31 touches for the Brisbane Lions, but it's a sick and sorry old scoreboard for Brisbane. But nevertheless, their coach Lee Matthews giving encouragement. I think that's encouragement.
Well, I admire Lee Matthews because he could have stepped aside and been the King of Queensland for the rest of his life. And I think he'll be respected for staying on with a group where so many senior players have left, and he's been prepared to roll his sleeves up and introduce so many young players and start the rebuild.
There's the live ladder. The Tigers, as we stand at the moment, 2 games outside the 8. So Fremantle will have to do something horrible to miss out on the finals now. But nevertheless, it's mathematically possible for both the Tigers and the Cats to make the finals. Kick to the wing. Oh, nasty collision there, but both players are okay.
He did well, kept his eyes on it.
In the back.
Yep, fair contest.
Stiller against Chaffey. Good stuff from both players. And he's okay, that's the most important thing. Shaney's still up, playing game number 10. 20-year-old.
Didn't used to see skinny bodies in a Brisbane Lions Guernsey much, did you, Rob? But now a lot of these young blokes, lot of skinny bodies.
Just look like boys, don't they?
Here's Stiller again. There's another skinny man, Cameron Wood. But he's a big unit. As far as height is concerned, he'll fill out nicely in the years to come.
Neil, the interchange has been used probably so differently than what it was intended. How many interchanges would you make on average a game?
Well, yeah, that's true. With the rotations, especially of your midfield, you try and keep it up. Yeah, you're looking at probably 40,
Tambling,
40 to 50.
Just missing.
40 to 50 interchanges. You've been coaching for 9 years. What was it when you started?
Well, it was nowhere near as high as that. It was very hard to get blokes like Toddy Viney off the ground, Rob. But nowadays they've got set rotations, and the other thing, the players accepted them a lot more. You know, when I first started, coming off was a real slur for a lot of the midfielders. But nowadays it's just part of modern footy.
Sherman, will he get a goal for his efforts? He does. And if anyone deserved it, he does. His 32nd disposal. It's his first goal of the night and just his team's third.
He hit it well, didn't he? From outside 50. Hit it beautifully.
"32 disposals to Justin Sherman. His career high is 33. Now, just going back to when proper statistical records have been kept since 1993. Nathan Buckley has got the record in 2001, had 46 disposals. But there's that old story going around from the early 80s when Peter Featherby from Geelong apparently had 52.
Right, that rings a bell. 52 is the most ever. That's what I've heard.
But since official stats have been taken, Buckley has got the record with 46. Got a lot of work to do, Justin Sherman. He still needs another 14 to equal that. But he's played a wonderful game.
Neil, the modern game, we see a lot of uncontested marking going backwards and sideways. Do you think perhaps we're getting away from that now? The way Fremantle have gone the last 5 or 6 weeks?
Getting away from the uncontested possession?
Yes.
Oh, look, the Sydney Swans are the existing premiers, and they've showed the style of footy. It's not great looking footy, but it's very, very hard to get a lot of uncontested possessions, and teams are looking at that and maybe just modifying their game. We've been trying to do that ourselves. Still, the key with it all, Rob, is can you mark the ball inside 50? You know, how many possessions you have in your back 50, on how many possessions you've got to be able to penetrate inside 50, and that's still the key stat, I believe. No matter how many possessions you have, is your ability to be able to get the ball inside 50 with some sort of system.
So what is the single most important skill in the game?
Kicking, for sure, easily. Ability to have smart players who can make good decisions, especially forward of centre. Tim, forward of centre, when you're taking the ball inside 50.
So this sort of thing we're seeing here, and this is the thing that upsets the fans.
Yeah.
And I suppose you look at Brisbane at the moment, they're 3 goals on the board and they're doing this. And their supporters would say, well, yeah, we might as well go home because we're not going to kick any goals. They're not taking any risks. All they want to do is maintain possession.
Free kick to Fixter. Tambling just making some illegal contact.
Some teams do this, Rob, when you got the ball, to force Richmond to come out and play on you. At the moment, Richmond are just sitting behind. So sometimes there's a tactic to say, well, let's just kick it around and see if we can force Richmond to come out and play on us. Then we play on quickly and hopefully get a one-on-one contest inside 50.
Hatfull delivering it to Pask. And he sees a fair bit of traffic up ahead, keeps it wide, hoping for Bradshaw. Joel Bowden with a sturdy fist.
We're just talking about tonight about the most important kick inside 50. Richmond have had 16 marks inside 50. Brisbane have had 3.
I guess if you're controlling the midfield and the corridor in particular, the chances of bringing it in a way where it's likely to be marked are increased.
And Richmond have been terrific in the sense that they've been able to rebound and rebound really quickly, and they've been able to get it into their forward line, one out. Whereas, as you can see just there, it's just a bit of a rush kick. That's another entry inside 50. It goes down as a stat, but it's quite meaningless with regards to being quality inside 50.
This season, do you think the Crows and the Eagles have improved their ability to find targets inside the 50?
I think the Crows have done a lot of work on it and have definitely improved. I think West Coast have still stayed with the same pattern that worked well from last year. I'm not sure how much they've improved their forward line work.
Tambling got the handball out. Now Hyde on hands and knees. Fed it out to Tivendale. And his kick finds Kane Pettifer.
His next kick's important. They get it in the midfield. He can play on into an open forward line.
Yep.
And is he a good enough kick, Tambling?
We'll find out in about 5 seconds, Neil, as Tambling has kicked a goal. That's good enough. Beautifully done, Neil.
Yeah, just a good example of ability to get it back in the corridor and get it quickly inside your 50. I was hoping to be a little bit further out, so we'd have to hit a forward, and that was a good kick for goal. But probably one thing that Tambling hasn't been doing general field play is be able to hit targets. But they'd be happy, ran off half back and put it through.
One of the Tigers' prize draft picks of a couple of years ago, Richard Tambling, without too much pressure on, showing the skills that he has and which he is still developing at the highest level. Power to Selwood. Sherman again. This will be number 33. Looks as though he's playing at centre-half forward now. He gives it to Power.
Good hard running from Luke Power from the centre bounce. Gave the handball off and pushed forward. Don't like him from here, Rob. You know, 45 out. Lukey late in the game. Might as well have a crack at it, bud.
He's only had 2 set shots for the year and he hasn't missed yet. And he's preserved his perfect record with
beautiful kick. That's what you do. You don't wrap them up. You don't wrap them up, Tim. You wrap them up. They nail them. Bit of doubt. Look at that straight through. Talk him up.
Talk him up. They'll let you down every
That's
time,
right.
Neil.
I listen to you the way you talk them up. Doesn't do our guys any good, mate. So just keep talking our blokes down and see how we go.
Well, I try not to do that.
You get into trouble for that, do you, Tim?
Apparently. Good goal from Luke Power. And this is the first quarter in which the Lions have kicked more than 1 goal on this awful night. They've only kicked 4.
Schultz and Hall stalking the boundary line, preparing to come back on. Wood in the middle for Brisbane. Awkward sort of handball. Howard. Nice handball over the Tivendale.
Neil, let's say the Demons make the grand final. Who do you think your likely opponent would be?
I think there's a lot of footy still to be played. Form fluctuates. There's injuries. We saw with Sydney last year. They lost their first final and found their way through to the grand final. Right now, I would say West Coast are in the best form. Not far behind is Sydney, and look, you can't knock Adelaide either at the moment. So they're the three form teams at the moment.
In this situation here, where a Richmond player is having a shot for goal, with the new kicking rules, have you got one of your players... Now, obviously, we would think this will be a score because he's close enough in. Would you have one of your players ready to dive on the loose ball to bring it back into play? Absolutely, and what Richmond should be doing, they should be manning up.
Adam Patterson has kicked the goal. The second of his AFL career.
Yeah, that's when you're this far in front, it gives experience to the young Patterson lot. Not often would you be playing him out of centre half forward, but they're so far in front, they're quite happy. They give him a bit of game time, and look, they'll be happy with that. He's got a goal.
Marty Pass could be unhappy. I think he was a bit hard done by there. I applaud umpires for paying freeze for high contact, but he put his head into that. He's a bit lucky. Back out to a 90-point lead for Richmond, courtesy of perhaps a slightly fortunate free kick, as Patterson did put his head down low and contributed to the high contact. Black brought down from behind. Free kick. Probing kick, not much there. Allen beaten to it by the more seasoned Tivendale. Marcus Allen picking himself up slowly as Tivendale breaks away. Goes for Simmons. Copeland the spoil. Black helping it on. Ben Fixter. And he gives Bradshaw a shot at this, and he's got it.
Neil, you mentioned the West Coast midfielders. Bradshaw plays on. We'll watch this.
And Hooper can kick his first goal of the night. Good unselfish play by Bradshaw.
One of the few times that Richmond haven't been able to get numbers back in front of him. It's one of the very rare times he's been able to come to the ball.
Getting back to West Coast with their three guns in the middle. Do you try to put a stopper on each of them, or do you roll the dice?
Oh no, you've got to be able to roll the dice. You can't put three stoppers. Probably the only team that can do that is Sydney, where but even Jude Bolton probably freed up a bit. Some teams will play two stoppers, but seldom can you play three stoppers on them and still win the game.
So Pettifer's got it at half forward for the Tigers. Kicks in the direction of Deledio. Power does the spoiling. Nice pick up by Moody. Back to Power. Now Black. Got clever. Kick by Stiller towards the wing. Black's bowled over by Hall. Nothing wrong with that.
Finals time, Neil. Most feared road trip. Sydney, Adelaide, Perth.
Oh, it varies from club to club, and we beat Sydney in Sydney early in the year. I think if you took all clubs, probably the most difficult one you'd probably have to say is West Coast.
Deledio, well, decided not to have a shot at goal. Made it harder for himself. Got it to Richardson. And that was a little bit too optimistic, I would have thought.
6-3 to Richo. The copybook being slightly blotted. Selwood delivers to Wood. Curious thing about your record against Sydney, Neil, is that I think the last 6 or 7 games have been won by the away team, which is teams from 2 different states, quite off the normal pattern. Patterson with the footy here for the Tigers. Hall. And has a good target in midfield. Cleverly controlled by Deledio. Howard. Oh, they're loving it every time Richo goes near the footy. You can hear the murmur start to rise as the ball headed in his direction.
Deledio tonight, we would enjoy tonight. He's been tagged a lot, Rob, and he's just taken up position across half-back. And we've seen a lot of on-ballers now in the modern game after they've been tagged quite a while. We saw Nick Stevens against us last week start to play back pocket, half back to break the tags, and Delidio tonight has been able to get himself free quite a lot just coming out of half back, and a lot of times no one's been on him, and he would be enjoying his night tonight.
And so would Richo, who's taken 8 marks inside the forward 50.
Oh, it's all come undone. He's lost the compass. There's still a chance that might be in the back, surely. Well, if the player falls right on your back while you're over the ball, I can't understand how there could not be a free kick. Umpire Pennell not seeing it that way. Tuck it out of the air, which means he had to get rid of it in a hurry. Stafford, Delidio, clever, just couldn't quite get enough purchase. I said Richo's 6'3", in fact he's 6'2". I've done him wrong. He didn't even get close to making it 6'3" a moment ago.
Well, there's one Brisbane champion not out there tonight, Jason Ackermanis. Will he be wearing Demon colours next year, Neil?
Well, I'm not sure about that, Rob. We haven't even had a chat with him yet, but I'm hoping to. I'm hoping to have a chat to Acker at some stage.
Bit hard this week. He's in Japan.
What's he doing there?
On holiday. Tuck from 48. Cross the face. Richardson takes up your team. Oh, it's a free kick. Was it 50? And Matthew won't be happy because he doesn't know yet. He doesn't know yet.
He's still going back to the kick.
Tell you what, that umpire.
Here we see it again. Big staff, right in the back.
Yeah, good call.
He's given the whistle a workout, that umpire.
Definitely there. Richo. This is like in the backyard, Rob.
This is what we like.
Notting taking a beauty, giving to Sherman and Hooper, and suddenly Brisbane putting together a nice exchange of the footy. That's a little dangerous, but just gets to Sherman in time.
In the back paddock at Ungary, who was the best high mark?
Now look, we're all young kids. It was always the older brother had the biggest leverage there, Rob. Chris was the baby, mate. We used to just take marks all over him.
Patterson, big clearing kick. Scott, good spoil. Brisbane keep attacking.
Did your sisters play?
Oh, yeah, we let them watch, Rob. Don't want those sisters showing up, do you?
Ray Hall.
Kick it to Richo.
Here comes Richo, but he won't get to the drop. He will get to the crumb.
It's all happening for him.
And that's a pretty good pass to Stafford. Dropping it on Stafford's chest. The proverbial laces out. He's enjoying the night, is Richo.
He knows he's having a good night. There was 3 Brisbane Lions players around this ball, and it just bobbed up to Richo.
Copeland's eyes not on the ball as it arrived. Stafford's not a bad shot for goal, and he's done it. It just made its way there. The Tigers go further ahead.
Robbie's not going to enjoy watching that.
Lee Matthews not happy. There's the hanger from Tim Notting. That's a cracking mark.
It's a beauty.
Some ripping marks this year. Cracker fed it out. Nicely done. Tuck. Oh, somehow gets past his opponent. Now loads up on the right foot. Here's another chance for Richmond. Richardson from the side. Lions concede the rush behind.
Well, this is the Robert Copeland mismark. He's ducked his head, and he's made a career out of putting it on opponents. And if you're going to do that with your talk, you've got to be able to stand up when it's your turn, and he hasn't there.
One always has to be careful not to automatically connect events, but Lee Matthews moments later wasn't looking terribly thrilled when he was on the phone. This is Marcus Allen on debut, 9th disposal of the footy, and that's an effective one to Harding, and that's not bad either for Bradshaw, who can line them up.
Very smart kick, Tim. It just waited and actually forced Bradshaw to come back towards him. Very smart kick.
And there you are. See what Neil's talking about. Timing just right. Bradshaw, only 1 goal tonight. That makes it 2 as he slotted that home nicely, just to ease the pain a little.
Just a good example. Sometimes the kicker forces the forward to lead in a certain direction rather than the forward asking the kicker. And that's a really good example where the kicker forced Bradshaw. He wait, come on, come towards me. Good kick.
The player with the ball has a lot of control, doesn't he?
He does, yeah.
There's a shot of Lee Matthews, and Neil, as an AFL coach, you're heavily scrutinised. I reckon in your early days you showed your emotions a lot more than you do now in the coaching box. Are you aware of that?
Yeah, I'm aware of it. I'm aware of when the camera's on me. I tell you, there's still plenty of emotion. You just got to pick your time. Don't do it after a goal. I know you're watching, Rob.
Well, there's some coaches that get warned when they're on television in the box.
Yeah.
Is that an official job?
You do provide some of the best images that the television coverage of our game offers, Neil.
Oh,
and I'm not just talking about you, I'm talking collectively. And I'm sure the fans out there love them as much as you don't like them.
Nicely done by the Tigers. Tivendale puts them back inside 50. Oh, Stafford works his way to the front. And he is one of the best set shots at goal in the business. Big fella.
And the man on the mark is Mel Michael, who's had a mighty career. And you can see Big Mel coming from the back there. And in the end, he doesn't get a swinger to get a fist on it. I just wonder whether we're seeing Mel Michael play his last few games of AFL as well.
Stafford for his second. And right through the middle.
He's big and he's raw, young Merrick, but what can happen there and bemused Mal Michael was the fact that Big Merrick was in his way. Good play by Richo, but just got him in, allowed Stafford to have a clear run at it.
Greg Stafford's second goal in his 201st game extends Richmond's lead to 93 points as we enter the last 5 minutes. And Wolsey, you would remember well Richmond's last 100-point victory in an AFL game. I wonder if they can do it again. We'll check your memory in a moment. Hooper with nowhere to go. Tivendale.
Was it against Fitzroy?
You're right, against the Lions, but a different lot of Lions. In 1996, round 21, the margin was 151 points, and the incredibly successful Richmond coach was 1R Walls. Here's Richo again, and that's pretty good. And Dean Polo, who did such a good stopping job early on Luke Power, can enjoy the fruits of his labour here.
That was Fitzroy's last game in Victoria. They then played their final game ever over at Subiaco.
Dean Polo burst onto the scene. Big performance in the Dreamtime match against Essendon in mid-season. and he has acquitted himself well since. That's not so great. The margin is 94. They're edging towards that three-figure mark.
Neil, Clint Bartram, one of your young players, I think he's played every game this season. You'd have to think he's some chance for the NAB Rising Star.
Yeah, look, he's had a fantastic year. But I think what I can see the vote givers, they like to give it to the probably the more exciting type player. I hope that's not the case because he's had a marvellous year. But there's been a lot of really good first-year players. Matthew Bate has been terrific for as well. Young Rains out here tonight.
Patrick Bowden up the ball from Tuck. Again, a bit too fancy there. Turnover. Fixter through it. Umpire let it go. Rains in there attacking. One of the favourites for the NAB Rising Star.
What about one of the favourites for the Brownlow medal, Cameron the Bruce?
Yes, Cameron's he's had a pretty good year, Cam. Travis Johnson's had a pretty good year. He's out at the moment, obviously.
Two very winnable games for the Tigers in the next 3 weeks. Round 22 is a little bit more difficult. As Selwell will have a ping at the goal, and he threads it through.
Five last quarter goals for Brisbane. In fact, winning the quarter. 5 straight.
And they've had to do that, Tim, by running the ball. They had still got no one in really inside 50 that looks dangerous, and a lot of their goals are just running goals like that because they just haven't been able to find a target.
Brisbane winning the final quarter by the barest of margins. 5 goals straight to Richmond's 4 goals 5. Simon Black, who started the build-up to that last one with that sweeping sleight of hand pass. Foley, Rains again. He backs himself. Might have just taken the long odds a little recklessly there.
Neil,
Fixed his ball.
You've sold games to Brisbane. Had to play up there next year. Will that happen again?
Yeah, that'll happen again next year, Rob. That's my understanding.
I think we're a year or two into a new deal, aren't we? There are 3 years or so to go. Bradshaw kicks another one. 6 goals in this last quarter to the Lions, and Bradshaw now has 3. Gives him 54 for the season. It's only the second time he's kicked 50 in a year, and his best in a season's work is 56, so he's likely to beat that.
Well, he's done well, I reckon, because he hasn't had too many clean goes at the footy. He's had extra numbers back there in his way, and he's a veteran premiership player, and he's stuck at his task. I admire him for that.
So it's Richmond by 82 now. At least the Lions have fought it out. Powers had his colours low. Couldn't get that one. Richardson can. He's got 6. Torpy by Delidio into the pocket. Stafford, who was hungry for another one before the final siren, couldn't take the mark. And it'll be tossed in the forward pocket. Sherman up to 35 disposals for Brisbane. Patrick Bowden 28 for Richmond. So Nathan Buckley's record is safe. Richardson.
Simmons in the goal square on a... away it goes.
Only as far as Tivendale, though. He's on his wrong side here, so he'll have to handball to Rains. Foley. A long floating ball inside 50, and Wood takes the juggling mark.
Slightly uncertain mark, wasn't it?
He's a tall boy from West Adelaide. And the mark's taken by Notting.
That was a good, strong effort. Taking a specky in this last quarter. He's tried hard, Tim Notting. Stiller. With the seconds ticking away, the night just about done, and it can't be over with quickly enough for the Lions, although it hasn't been their philosophy in this last quarter. They've fought it out. This is Moody. Bradshaw wants it.
They've fought it out, Brisbane, haven't they? Like, it's 7 goals each after half-time. So,
yeah. Harding might have been able to just break off the mark then.
He looked up to the goal square, and he had young Hooper and Powell, both about 5'10" in the goal square, Tim. So doesn't quite encourage you to go long.
Neil, your coach today, do you talk to your players tomorrow?
I spoke to them briefly after the game, Rob. We've got 8 days. I told them to keep their chins up, and I was quite happy with their endeavour. We just lacked a little bit of class, and we'll get that back.
There it is. A big win to the Tigers. They snap a losing streak. An 82-point margin, and they remain 10th on the ladder.
Risking head and skin, and we're behind the never mind, we'll fight and win. We're from Tigerland. We never weaken till the final siren's gone. Like the tiger of old, we're strong and we're bold, for we're from Tiger, yellow and black. We're from Tigerland.
Gosh, just about the best club song going around, boys. What do you reckon? The Richmond one?
Better than the Dockers song?
Just. Let's go down to Christy Malthouse, who's with Patrick Bowden, the man who had 28 disposals in this game.
Thank you, Stephen. Well, Patrick, that wasn't just a win, that was a mauling. It must have felt pretty good.
Yeah, it feels good to get a win like that, and you know, we've been on the end of a couple of those, and yeah, it's good to win like that. It's great.
You needed a big win and a percentage boost. What was said at half-time? You stayed out on the ground for a while in a huddle. Just the general gist. Yeah, we made it back before the game just to meet there at half-time, just to go over it and assess what we'd done in the first half. Turns out it went pretty well for us, so we had good things to say. You've had a pretty big year yourself, and another big game tonight. Stephen just mentioned 28 disposals. Are you just playing, do you feel just more confident in yourself and your game this year?
Oh, just playing in the back line makes it a little bit easier than playing in the forward line, but yeah, having a reasonable year, and you know, the team, although we're you know, not going to make the finals, we just want to finish the year off well, and if I can keep going personally, that's good.
Well done anyway.
Thanks very much.
Oh, Patrick's written off any finals miracle, Tim. Well, realistically, they can't make it, of course, but
he didn't realise, Quarters, you've been talking him up for the second half. You mustn't realise that.
You just never know in this topsy-turvy competition, Neil, what might happen the last 3 weeks.
You don't.
Just don't know. A sad night for the Brisbane Lions. Very sad night. They did fight it out, though, to their credit. They won the last quarter by 7 points, and they held their own in the second half, but blown away, 80 points down at half-time. So Richmond snap a 4-game losing streak. It's their 9th win of the season. Brisbane stuck on 7 wins, 12 losses. Now, there wasn't many positives, I wouldn't have thought, tonight for Brisbane, Rob.
No, other than they were able to get another game of experience to 14 players who have less than 50 games. That is a very, very inexperienced side. And so many champions have retired or are out injured. So, you know, the odds are against them at the moment. And they've been through the good times. This is the tough times for them. But Lee Matthews, I think he'd be pleased that in the second half, they didn't just absolutely capitulate. They didn't. They fought it out, which was pleasing.
Neil, we thank you for your time, and
thanks, Quarters.
Wish you the best for the next 3 weeks and then the finals. Some people have backed you for the flag, you know. You better get a move on.
Now we've got a big game against the Kangaroos next weekend at the G. We're looking forward to it.
Yep, next Sunday at the MCG, Kangaroos versus Melbourne. So we thank you for your time, Neil. All the best the rest of the year.
Thanks, fellas.
So the Tigers celebrate their 82-point victory here. Richardson finished with 6 goals. He was the major goal scorer for the Tigers. While Daniel Bradshaw, with limited opportunities, fought hard. He kicked 3, and Bradshaw now moves up to 54 goals for the season. A break from the Telstra Dome. Big win of the Tigers, 82-5.
Back in round 4, 5 goals from Trent Crone was the difference as the Hawks rolled the Blues.
Can he bend it through? Yes!
Today, Carlton gets another shot at Hawthorn, live and exclusive from 2 at the MCG.
That's all a little easy.
Press red to access a whole world of digital options as 2 crosstown rivals go to war. Your Sunday looks like this. Hawks and Blues live and exclusive from 2. Then Crows and Dockers, the winners live at 7:30 and Cats Saints.
When I was a young fighter, I got my shot and became a champion. Now, there are 16 new boxers who will get their shot at greatness.
This opportunity would bring a big change for my family. I wouldn't be living from check to check, that's for sure.
My father was a boxer, my grandfather was a boxer, and it was something I was destined to do.
I've won championship fights, been in great battles. I'm gonna win this thing, damn it.
They will live together, train together, and each week they will fight each other. The winner goes on, and the loser goes home. In the end, one boxer will become a champion.
You can win this fight. You gotta believe. Just come from my pod. I need you to work. Your kids need you to work.
Who will be the next contender?
Round 2, Mondays 8:30, exclusive to Fox 8.
Monday, join Spider and the Ox for a complete wrap of round 19 on White Line Fever at 7:30. Then, Jared, Mike and Robert are joined on the couch by St Kilda superstar Nick Revolt to discuss the Saints' run into the finals and the future of his best mate, Justin Kazitsky. 7:30, White Line Fever, 8:30 on the couch, live and exclusive, Monday.
I just wanna break you down so badly. Let you over everything you say. I just wanna break you down so badly. In the worst way. I just wanna break you down so badly. Let you over everything you say. I just wanna break you down so badly. In the worst way. I'm gonna make damn sure that you can't ever leave. No, you won't ever get too far from me. You won't ever get too far from me. I'll make damn sure that you can't ever leave. No, you.
Massive win by the Tigers over the line, set up with an extraordinary first half where Richmond kicked 14 goals 7 to the Brisbane Lions. Terrible 1 goal 5. They led by 80 points at half-time. The final margin 82, but the damage had well and truly been done in those first couple of quarters. For Richmond, Matthew Richardson kicked 6 goals 3, 2 each to Cracker, Simmons, Tambling, Patrick Bowden and Stafford. And the only multiple goal scorer for Brisbane was Daniel Bradshaw, who now has 54 goals for the season.
The 2006 Premiership season is brought to you by Toyota. Footy, oh what a feeling. Bunnings Warehouse, where lowest prices are just the beginning. Hungry Jacks, oh yeah. Tooheys Extra Dry, the clean, crisp taste. Harvey Norman, there's a store near you. And Motorola.
Hello, Moto.
The 2006 Premiership season is brought to you by Toyota. Footy, oh what a feeling. Bunnings Warehouse, where lowest prices are just the beginning. Hungry Jacks, oh yeah. Tooheys Extra Dry, the clean, crisp taste. Harvey Norman, there's a store near you. And Motorola.
Hello, Moto.
replay of Melbourne versus Sydney at the MCG. It's round 19 on Fox Footy, where AFL is everything.
Yes, it may be August, but for footy fans in Melbourne, there's more than just a hint about finals about today. The Demons and the Swans, well, they're going to be here when the whips are cracking in a few weeks' time, but today will tell us from which position they'll be able to make their charge. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Saturday afternoon footy from the MCG. We are pumped up, Luke Darcy, because this is a look at what might be ahead, and it's a massive challenge, particularly for the Demons.
Oh, it is, Hutto. Just exciting to be here today, to be honest with you. Third versus fourth, Saturday afternoon at the MCG. The conditions are just sensational. It's going to be a fantastic game today.
Well, it certainly is. We all know that the Demons have had a terrific year after a poor start. How will they be feeling, though? They've only won one of the last 3 weeks, and that loss to Carlton, so disappointing considering the ladder.
Yeah, they'll be shell-shocked after last week's loss to Carlton. They would have done a fair bit of homework this week. They've got some changes out of their side too. Some good players out. Travis Johnson. We know that Pickett's out of the side as well. So they're going to test their depth out today. So they'll come out really hard today.
Well, here's the Swans, their opponents this afternoon. They lost about a month ago. They lost 2 games in a row to the top 2 teams. Since then, they've won the last 3. They've slipped under the radar. They are looking good.
Yeah, they are. We know the way Sydney play the game. They're just a tough tackling side. Melbourne are also the equally tackling side in the competition. So we know it's going to be a lot of pressure around the ball today, and fantastic contest.
Well, the Swans have only been here at the MCG once this year. I don't know whether that will play any part or not, but their opponents are experts here, the Demons, as they come on to the MCG. And we mentioned already they've come off a couple of ordinary performances, but Cameron Bruce is there, and that's a good thing for them.
Yeah, that's a great thing for him. He's a superstar player, Cameron Bruce. We know the last time these two sides met, he was very important in the result. And Brad Miller back into the side as well. Probably think he's going to go to Barry Hall today, so that'll be a great matchup to watch.
Well, the Demons, if they can win today, it's going to play such an important part in trying to get that top 4 spot. There's the top 4. We can see it a little closer. Melbourne 1 game clear, but look at that bunch, including the Swans, that are really challenging for that top number 3 spot.
Yeah, and heading into the finals, these teams are both going to play in the finals, so you'd love to get an advantage over a side. Whoever wins today will probably take that form into the finals, so a huge game today.
Well, let's go upstairs to a couple of blokes that have been there and done that come finals time. Michael Christian and Stephen Silvani.
Thanks very much, Hutto. Good afternoon, everyone. And Steve, looking forward to a cracker. Melbourne haven't lost a game this year at the MCG. Looking forward to it. Let's look at the teams, and we start with the Melbourne forward line. Big job for David Neitz this afternoon.
It is another big job for him today, particularly with Robinson and Davey out of the side. But it looks like Melbourne have gone tall up in their forward line with J-Mar and Neitz on that full forward line. Another big job for Holland also. There's some talk he may line up at centre half.